This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
All right, everybody. It's up, comms. It's Friday. What's up? We got. I think the whole crew is here. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a regular night.
Yay!
How
I
amazing
think this
is
is the
this?
first time we've had
boys are
all
back
of the
in
cast
town.
on. Obviously the first time this year, but I think probably the first time since November. I don't know.
Gotta be a long time. I think
Interesting.
since the end of E-Vegas, the last E-Vegas show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so eventful night. We have a lot of shit to actually talk about that's Eve related. Two
No, we
weeks
don't.
in a row, believe it or not.
What? What do we have to talk about? They canceled FanFest. Yay!
What's happening? Is there something going
Do we
on
want to
Eve
do the
related?
opening shot?
Yeah.
We need to do an
yeah,
opening shot.
Let's do the
yes.
opening shot to a friend of
All right,
ours.
so opening shot. Mike Azariah came out of surgery. His cancer was back. He had to have it was a kidney removed, I believe, right?
Yep, kidney.
Yep. So
That's
he has
right.
one of his kidney removed. He came out of the surgery safe. So shots to Mike. Hopefully you have a quick recovery, man. Glad they caught that and that it's gone. So
Fuck cancer.
fuck cancer.
God bless Mike.
Fuck cancer.
With that being said, Brisk already dropped the ball. FanFest
Should we do a
is
shot to
canceled.
FanFest?
Oh, twice.
Shots
Wait,
to
why not?
FanFest. We'll do another shot.
Oh my
There you
God.
go. Bye FanFest.
Right at the gate. Yeah, FanFest is canceled. Yeah, the coronavirus. So FanFest being canceled is a pretty
No,
big
let's do the
deal.
shot first, and then we can talk
Okay.
about it.
Shots to FanFest. So obviously a lot of people are upset about that. The flights is a big issue. The flights and apparently hotels. Blazing Bunny might not be able to hear us at this moment. I think he's still running something, but flights. Anyone that's booked a flight, if that's non-refundable, I think you have 24 hours to get full refunds on flights. Usually after that, you're boned.
So take it a step back. So with the whole coronavirus outbreak, I know it's spreading pretty rapidly within Europe, at least within Italy. The first case was actually in Iceland today. But I know CCP, a massive event. I would say massive for Iceland. A bunch of people coming together, sticking around in a conference room / conference hall for a weekend. Plus, everyone knows the quote-unquote Icelandic death flu. So the normal flu / cold that always goes around at FanFest is pretty bad. So they decided to take the precautions, just cancel the event, tell people not to come out. The thing is, what Drayden was talking about, though, is like a lot of people, it's very difficult to get your flights canceled. To some, it's very difficult to get their hotels canceled, even though, we have a month in advance. So a lot of people are kind of feeling the pressure of those like reservations, especially with a massive international trip. Most people plan it plenty of months in advance.
So obviously it's canceled for the coronavirus. A lot of people are saying they're going to go anyway. I've been seeing a lot of that. So there might still be.
Well, they haven't. They have been saying that because they are basically locked into losing their
Yeah.
money on flights and either deposits or full freight on their rooms. You
Right.
know. And look, did we just lose a cam?
We lost Brisk.
We lost
Brisk.
the Brisk.
Okay. And
The
there,
names are fucked up. At least that
look,
fixed some of it.
there are ways that can happen. A lot of times when you book a room, you can basically cancel up until about 48 hours before you're arriving, right? Unless you take a special rate that doesn't have that cancel. It's basically going, you're locking in, right? You want the cheaper rate? You want $10 off a night? and people just always know that they're going, didn't have any foresight of this when the dates for FanFest were announced and all of that. And this is one of those situations where it looks like they could, potentially get screwed. So of course they're saying, well, screw it, I'll go to Iceland anyways. Now, of course, one of the reasons why CCP has canceled it kind of as far in advance as they could with what's going down, right, is the unknown of what that time frame will bring. It may be that by that point something has changed out there, it's gotten worse, whatever, flights are beginning to get canceled. Who knows? You're talking about a country of what, 500,000 people? They may pull up the goddamn drawbridges and go, none of you bitches getting in.
I
And
think
countries have done it. Madagascar was
I can
already
tell you right now, if my
closed
country was
borders.
500,000 people, I'd pull the drawbridge up.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I remember. I think Madagascar reacts very strongly every time there's this sort of national pandemic sort of thing going on, like swine flu. They closed everything, and I think they also slaughtered all of the pigs in the country. But
I
the
mean,
moment
you
the
just
moment
had
Corona
something
came
the
out,
other
they
day.
closed it. Yeah.
I mean, you just had something very recently. Well, you just had something very recently where Switzerland, right? Switzerland has basically locked down any gatherings of more than 1,000 people, right? So they're basically saying, look, we're going to limit this, in that way. And then of course, and Araya out there mentioned it, and it was something that we obviously saw this morning. Was that Iceland has got its first case. Somebody had been in Italy and came back home and began to develop symptoms and whatnot, and I believe it's tested positive. I don't know if it's showing symptoms and being watched or whatever, and then just mere hours later this happened. I'm not saying that the two are linked, that they're like, oh shit, we got somebody in country, let's stop this thing. But I do really wonder whether or not Iceland as a country, Iceland as a government at some point, doesn't sit there and go, we're kind of a small population country.
Yeah, and I mean,
and
there
it's in
are
their major center too.
yeah, and there are a lot of countries. I mean, like the U.S. has cases of it, but the U.S. so far, I think, has been able to lock it down. Like the first guy who had it was like in the hospital, already quarantined. There was, I believe, a woman in Chicago who tested positive, and then it's actually spread to her husband, so they quarantined them. Like flights coming in from China, so I know like there are a lot of flights coming to the U.S. with like U.S. citizens, and they've been locking them down and quarantining them. I mean, there's only so much you can do, but like
Yeah,
this
and
is
look,
all like super
let's be-
new as well. So
Let's be completely honest. They don't have a fucking Mike Pence up there. They just don't.
That's good.
I mean, is that good or bad?
I'm just saying, they just don't. It's like they can't pray it
Right.
away.
Oh my
I
god,
was like,
dude.
I don't get the reference.
and when we already know that Ebola is kind of a real thing, it's like,
Yeah, and I mean, so like,
So I really do wonder. Like, look, on both sides of the equation here, right? Like you could see it on kind of a national basis. Maybe that, like, I don't know, maybe word went in and said, I don't know if we want to have like a big giant influx of people right now. Maybe we need to limit that kind of thing. And then also for CCP sitting there going, we don't know what it's going to be like at that time. We don't want to risk the potential, whatever.
Right.
And then also
And
for
cancel later.
travelers coming from all over the world. Yeah,
It's more
it's a really
risky than
tough call. I mean, this is not something where people are
Well,
kind of
the-
fucking around with it out there.
devilishly do. I mean, hits it on the point too, right? Like, what's so wrong with flying thousands of people in from all over the world and letting them mingle and then sending them back home? Like, a lot of times, in general, people when they go to FanFest, they go to FanFest healthy. But I mean, you're on an airplane. There's like no doubt about it. When you're on an airplane, you're literally sharing germs with everyone on the airplane. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. And then let's say you take care of yourself perfectly well in FanFest or at Iceland. Like, you wash your hands, you don't share drinks, you don't share food, you stay sober and eat multivitamins, whatever the fuck.
And then you got these people that never go fucking anywhere in the world in their fucking life, sitting there going, "Oh, the fucking alarmists." It's like, here's the deal.
No.
Okay.
No,
it's not alarmist to sit
So-
there and tell people that they need to take
The
precautions.
problem is though, right? So
Right.
Buck Story is talking about Ebola. Ebola was spread, I believe it was water, and it had to be bad water, and it was very difficult for Ebola
Was
to
it
spread.
water?
But once you had Ebola, you were pretty much fucking dead. You just bled out everywhere.
I-
With
I-
this, it's more like a cold. It spreads like a cold. Ebola is bad, yeah. It's through the water.
Yeah.
It's not through air vapors.
I thought it was
It's
through
water.
rat fleas or something.
No, that's bubonic plague.
Right. Not Ebola. Yeah.
Which also, I mean, killed out a third of the world's population.
Well, we're not
so-
going to get into Ebola because Ebola is a completely different freaking animal.
It
It
is,
also burns
it
out
is.
very
It's
quickly. It doesn't
100%
spread as
true.
far, and you can actually contain it in a way
That's-
that,
yeah.
that
It's
that
not
really
as
makes it much
contagious.
more
It's
difficult.
more of a
with something
horrendous disease,
like a
but it's
flu
not as
type thing.
contagious.
It has higher death rate, lower contagious rate.
The one thing we
infection rate.
probably should not get into here is trying to make, like, I don't know, medical comparisons or whatever. The fact of the matter is that all around the world, different countries are taking different steps. Different businesses are taking different steps. Not what governments or the media have to say or anything like that. These are all being choices that are made by airlines to not fly certain places, or all kinds of stuff that's going on out there. And people don't actually know what it's going to be like a month from now. CCP had to make a difficult call, and I support them in that call, because if this does get worse, there's a whole lot of things. I'm sorry, I wouldn't risk my freaking small country with that.
Right.
I
No,
wouldn't
and-
risk this one
Con-
either.
and I
It's
don't
really
think
hard to close the border.
CCP Convict pointed out that it's great to see that so much of the community is understanding about this decision. Like there's from what I've seen, there haven't been any torches and pitchforks coming out. Everybody is maybe not supportive, but they understand why CCP felt it appropriate to make this decision, which I think is really cool.
I mean, the bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, is I'm glad that they made the decision today rather than waiting until it was closer, because right now this is top of mind for everybody on the planet. And I'll tell you, all the airlines and everybody else are probably going to be pretty lenient about giving refunds to people because they had to cancel because of the virus. If the virus dies down and nobody's remembering it a month from now, then maybe they wouldn't. If they were, and then something happened, they had to cancel it then, whatever. So I think they did the right thing with the call this early. And frankly, that's a good thing. And I also like to say that I hate my animals. They fucking turned off the power in my office in the middle of the show. So fuck them.
I will
That's what
say
that was.
too, for those of you who are like are
Wonder
kind of
what
like
it
some
was.
of us in this boat, where like because like your airline, if you have travel insurance, they're gonna say, okay, if you choose not to go to an event, that doesn't count for insurance, so you may not get your money back. If you're stuck with your hotel, you're probably not gonna get that back. A lot of people are still planning to go to Iceland. They're gonna do a lot of sightseeing. I am one of those currently. I am still pending sort of like what's all going on because I have a work trip halfway through FanFest. So depending on my work trip getting canceled or not also impacts me. So if you
What
are
do you
still
have
kind of like
what do you have a work trip for?
so if you still
Fucking
are
accountants have work
if you
trips
still
for.
are like pending or you're still kind of locked in, definitely like reach out to folks. I think there's like a Google Docs link or something going around for like people to coordinate. Also, don't cancel right now because you might get lucky and the airline might cancel, in which case you are able to get your refund more than likely.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you aren't going to get
So
reimbursed
don't
for the
just
cancellation,
flat
you might as
and
well
that
not
is
cancel.
something that
let you
definitely-
get your refund.
That is something that definitely needs to be pointed out. It's like, look, it doesn't do you any good to cancel right now and just lose everything, kind of a thing, because if things happen to change and airlines begin to cancel stuff or what have you, right, then it's them canceling. You have much more of a likelihood of being able to get a refund on something like airfare and things like
or
that.
a voucher
Or
at
who
least, or
knows?
something.
Who knows? Maybe CCP can reach out to Iceland Air in some way and say, hey, look, we're kind of a thing here for tourism. You're definitely a thing here for tourism. These are people that, who knows, maybe want to come this time again next year or later in the year or something like that. Can we find a way of doing something? I mean, who knows? So I would
Everyone-
be very careful about reactionary just canceling right now because, I don't know. Maybe wait two or 3 weeks.
Everyone gets a $20 voucher to the airport food court.
Yeah,
I
maybe wait
cancel.
till
I already
we-
canceled all
we
my
have
stuff. I'm not
flashbacks.
worried about it because I feel like the airlines are going to be. They're not usually jerks about stuff when something like this happens.
see, I wouldn't
So, I
cancel.
don't
I
think
think
it's-
Well,
I've
if
heard
Did you
it
get
if
your
being
money back?
Iceland
jerks.
closes their borders, like if it comes to that,
Then
wouldn't
you'll
the
get a
airline
refund.
have to refund?
because
Yeah.
now you're
Yeah.
blocked by outside
If,
reasons.
if
but I
you
wouldn't
are
even,
like legally bound from entering the country, you should
if
get a
you're not
refund.
going to get a refund, you might as well not even cancel at all. Because even if you're sending an empty seat on the flight, you're giving the person that would have been next to you more arm room, more space,
Also, what you should do,
more
Galaxy Brain Play.
anti-coronavirus distance from the next person over. I mean, like
No,
4D
what you
4D
should-
chess.
is you show up to your flight anyway, and then you ask for a voucher to let someone else on. Because if you have like a layover or some shit and your flight's oversold, just be like, oh yeah, I'll give up my seat $1,000. So you may not get your refund, but you may get a voucher.
Ooh.
But
I
usually-
still want to
usually
know what
out-
range
I
work
don't know if
trip
one of
is.
y'all mentioned it, but Araya did out
I have
there again
a global team
about the
training.
fact that GDC has also been postponed. I mean, I don't know that they've picked a new date yet or anything like that, but like there are other things out there that are also getting this kind of thing. This is for those people that want to shit on CCP for apparently being whatever. It's
This
like,
isn't unique to
but
FanFest.
this is
but
not
they're-
unique to FanFest.
this
But
is
they're
happening
is anybody actually
worldwide.
doing that? Who's shitting on them? Everybody I've seen so
Yeah,
far has
yeah,
been
I don't
like,
think
okay,
anybody's shitting on CCP. But for anyone who wants
I can
to,
go dig through a few right now.
this is not unique to CCP. It's not unique to the gaming industry. This is
I
global.
don't think it's unique to anything. They're canceling conventions all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
You've
no,
got
for sure.
businesses
Yeah.
out there that are not allowing their people to travel for the next 3 weeks, right? And that is basically saying for the next 3 weeks you're not traveling. We'll reconsider like when we get a handle on this.
My work has a
again.
mandatory restriction on travel, and if you are in any of the affected areas, you are required to tell the HR department and go on quarantine.
The question is this:
So, like, it's not like a joke from the way the people are reacting.
the question is this, right? Okay, so last year obviously there was not a fan fest, right? And they had Invasion Tour. Is there something that CCP will now potentially look to once again help support some of those other player run things that are being generated out there a little bit more than maybe they were because FanFest is not going on?
I'll tell you guys
That's
right now
also
what they
something
can
that-
do. You want to know what they can do?
Alliance tournament.
E-Vegas. Fuck the Alliance tournament.
Well,
E-Vegas.
Vegas is later in the year, so if there's an
How about
announcement, maybe-
both? Let's
You
do
can't even
Vegas
get your player
and
tournament now.
Alliance
because-
tournament.
Well, you can't even get a player tournament because they canceled FanFest. So
I
that
know,
last player
I know.
tournament's
So
screwed.
I know they
Right.
had organized like all the flights and hotels for those players, and now they have to eat the loss.
Vegas is
like-
later on, but Nola's coming up too.
Yeah, so if you
The
can't
good
go
thing-
to Iceland, you can go to Eve New Orleans, Eve North, Eve Vegas.
I was
I think
able to
there's an
cancel my
E-Russia
hotel
out
without
there.
any issues because the hotel doesn't care about like getting paid ahead of time. But the flight I had to pay for, so that was bad.
But Brisk,
We
you
shall
said
see.
you already canceled your stuff.
I have
you
put
just
in a
take the
request
hit?
for a refund, but I have a flex
Okay.
ticket, so they should give it to me without any questions. But Icelandair is one of these airlines where you can't just click the cancel button. You've got to ask them permission, so it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, if you have a flex stick, you can't just cancel.
No, they don't have a cancel button anywhere on the site. You gotta petition them. It's like going through the GMs to get your Titan pod back.
But yeah,
Let's hope it doesn't take 2 weeks.
So maybe what happens here is twofold, right? If there are people that are going to show up to Iceland anyways, right? You're not going to get the full FanFest experience, but maybe CCP finds a way of putting some kind of things together that they're comfortable with, and I don't know. Who knows?
is a
For all
big-ass dog,
that,
Brisk.
for all you know, people who are going there, the local businesses may not want a bunch of goddamn outsiders crowding their bar and touching things. We don't know, okay? But then again, also, it could be that CCP sits there and says,
That
well,
dog is as
maybe
big as
we can
Brisk.
throw a couple extra devs out to
cute.
this
That
place
is a
if it
huge-ass
looks
dog.
like it's
He's massive. He's 80
if
pounds.
it looks like it's safe or whatever.
What are all the people that made up stickers and other swag going to do with it now?
Well, hold on to the next event. There's going
Hold
to be
on to the
another
next
event.
event,
Don't
yeah.
do something
event.
else.
It's
or
not
if
like
you're not
it's
going to another event,
time-gated.
maybe send it to
Look,
someone that is.
Unless
We've
your
already
t-shirt
got.
said
We've already
FanFest
got. All right,
2020
so
on it.
we got New Orleans planned already. We've got Toronto, or I guess Niagara Falls, Eve North planned already.
When is Eve North again?
Vegas
It's,
is planned already. June something, right?
June. Okay.
20 something, I think 20th or 26th or something. All right, sometime in June. Ivy would tell us if she were here. We've got Vegas already scheduled and tickets being sold for that. So there are events. I mean, and now they're doing. I guess they're going to do Moscow too. So they've got a bunch of stuff already that they're planning on. It's not like there aren't other Eve events that these guys can go to if they want to. So the only questions that I have is basically going to be one: what are they going to do with like the CSM election shit? Because they did the announcements there, and that's a standard thing. And then what are they going to do with the player tournament that they were flying everybody in for the finals? So, I mean, that's the other question: where are they going to host that?
According to CCP Convict, I believe he tweeted out, they're looking into the possibility, or they're looking into their options to stream or somehow record, put up on YouTube the content that was intended for FanFest. So hopefully, hopefully around April, around the time that FanFest would have been, that there may be some kind of live stream or some kind of content that CCP will put out to deliver that information.
Yep. I mean, you know, and again, King Aries brings up out there, maybe CCP can do some sort of live 2-day sort of the presentations that they would have shown, do it somehow on Twitch, whatever, you know, to kind of do a what remote sort of fan festy kind of thing for the things that they would have presented. Maybe that's possible.
Hosted at Hilmar's house.
They can
In
do
his-
a
in his
stand up
hot tub.
at FanFest in front of an audience of nobody. That'll be fun.
There we go.
They still
Look-
get up on stage and do the presentation, but just
Right,
nobody's
why
in the
not?
seats.
Like that
Nobody in the
soccer
seats.
game over
I would
there.
Like,
love to
please.
see that on
Laugh
stream.
tracks and
Actually,
shit.
that would be
Laugh
so
tracks.
funny.
They should print
Like
out
background
the
audience clapping.
they should print out the avatar picture of every person that was an attendee and paste them to each chair that's in the room. Just
They can do it
present
at the
that.
CEO of Iceland Air's house.
Yeah.
And he can be like, bitches, what's up?
I'm gonna do a shot. Why
All
not?
right.
Speaking of Eve North, I guess Eve North, the monthly meetup is happening right now. So
Shots to them.
Hi guys.
shots to you people in Toronto.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, while we're on it, I mean, we might as well just stick to the subject here. But
You mean like the Eve Iowa meet on March 14th?
got the Eve
So
Iowa.
is it like
meet.
6 of you guys that get together? Is
It's
that-
like a
Yeah, we're having
caucus
to borrow
brisk.
people from Nebraska.
Oh God.
The
You're,
Eve Iowa meet
you're
is
actually gonna
like
have to
a
hang out with
caucus.
Nebraskans.
I fucking love the Midwest. We're all so nice to each other.
They're-
It's like
they're
the most
Corn
wholesome
brothers.
thing.
It's Corn family in
The
Nebraska.
Midwest breeds crazy.
So 2 days ago,
True.
We're fucking wholesome. Fuck you.
You
2
guys are
days ago,
insane.
it was announced that tickets for Eve Moscow 2020 are now on sale.
Right. We'll see how long it takes before that gets canceled.
I think that would be one of those things that maybe they need to kind of well, and when is that?
It is.
That's in
that is
June.
June
That's
13th
in
and 14th.
June.
So 2 months
Now-
away.
I don't know what kind of travel related stuff goes on with St. Petersburg last year and whatnot, right? It was a 1-day event. This year it looks like it's a 2-day event of some kind, partially on the 13th and 14th of June. Obviously, for these for some of these things, they've got to kind of, I don't know, communicate, right? Communicate. Because what we know right now is it's not just about CCP has been good about refunding, the tickets, right? The price for the event itself. Obviously I have no idea how it works over there and, whether or not people are traveling from all over the world or whatever.
Brother Bob's like,
Well, they're probably traveling from all over Russia.
Bob
I
is
would think.
saying Eve Lubbock is next Friday. There's 2 of them. There used to be 3, but one guy moved away.
There you go.
So if you want to
That's
go to
a dang
Lubbock
shame.
next weekend, you can go down there.
Tejas.
That's somewhere in Texas, I think. But
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the difficulty here is like, look, this is their big giant thing that they were going to throw, right? These other events are going on as well, and it's going to, not knowing what the future brings,
another one that's
everything
that's
can get called into question.
It's not an official CCP meet, but the cruise this year is
Oh, the
leaving
Baltic
out of
cruise,
Yeah.
yeah, the Baltic
You
cruise
guys
is
are
leaving out of
crazy.
Amsterdam, or not, I keep thinking Copenhagen, not Amsterdam. It's Copenhagen.
There is not enough
Damn.
money on
But-
the world
but
to get me
that
on that fucking
being
cruise
with the
right
whole
now.
I'd
issue
love
with
it.
the princess.
No,
and I-
they are talking. Oh, sorry.
If
Well,
you
I'm
thought
saying-
traveling to Iceland was dangerous, get on a cruise
well, yeah.
ship.
So it's not Princess Cruise Lines. It's Norwegian, I believe, is
Norwegian.
what they use. But it's going to be stopping at a bunch of places all over. Like it's going to stop in Germany,
Norwegian is
Latvia,
good. I like
or maybe it's
Norwegian.
Lithuania. I forget, but St. Petersburg, Sweden, stopping all those stops. That may or may
Here-
not happen
here's-
now. I know that
here-
Carnival, I think, has a cruise
here's-
ship now that might have
here's the
cases
deal.
on it.
Here's the deal. People have heard stuff about, a cruise ship first over in Italy that basically had to be, quarantined for a little bit and then went out. But then, of course, the ship of doom over in fucking Japan where it was like, just whatever. Everybody knows about the cruise ship over in Japan, the princess, the Crystal
Those
Princess or
4
whatever
cases
it
that
is.
Spokane I told
Okay,
you about, they were
but-
shipped in
but-
from that.
What you're not hearing as much about out there are the cruise ships that are just sailing around, going to normal ass places and being turned away from port to port to port.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I think
so it
Dominican
was like,
closed
you know,
reports.
you've got ones that are down in the Caribbean where, like, you know, nope, Jamaica said, get your ship out of here. Okay.
I will
And like,
say-
you know, they finally got to go to port in Mexico, but the people that were on board that cruise ship were basically just like being bounced from port to port to port, and they never got to stop at the places that they were supposed to. So these are the sorts of things that are going on out there, and what you have to actually think about in terms of travel and all that kind of shit now.
I will say, like, cruise ships like are notoriously known for almost always having a medical emergency on them, and they're also known that they're just a hive mind of fucking disease. Because you cram thousands of people onto a little fucking like.
Yeah, you
We're
got
not even talking
fucking
about
men and
getting
women
soot on
sitting in
your face.
jacuzzis getting covered in fucking ash from the goddamn
So-
stacks.
so, like,
That's
when
never
Drake-
happened, you
when
know,
Drake
right?
and I came
Such a
back,
funny
we would be like washy washy, happy
Happy,
happy. 'cause,
yeah,
like,
washy-washy.
every time you go anywhere on a cruise ship, they literally have like a bottle of hand sanitizer and they make you sanitize your hands.
Well,
Like,
they tell you
"Oh,
to. They
wanna
can't
go get
force
food?"
you, but anyone that
Sanitize.
says no, thank you, you look at them, you're like sitting away from that dirty ass.
The only time I
motherfucker.
would refuse is when I had to get on the boat and hand a guy my card. I would refuse to sanitize until he gave me back my card, and then I could sanitize my
Yeah,
hands.
well, I mean,
They made me do it
that's
before.
just
and I'm
order
like,
of
I'm like, I'm
operations.
giving
That's
my
not
card
refusal
to this
to.
dude. Like, I'm touching shit still.
Yeah, that's
And
not
I
refusing
I
to
always
sanitize.
carried. Yeah, I always had like hand sanitizer on me. So.
And yeah, and again, the thing here is just dealing with a reality that's currently going on. Obviously, there are people who are concerned. There are people who are scared. All that kind of stuff. And it may turn out. Let's all pray. Okay, no fucking jokes intended here. Let's all hope. Okay, that it turns out way better.
You're the only
than
one making
what
that Pence joke,
possibilities are.
Dirk, you dick.
What's that?
You're the only one making that Pence joke, you
Yeah, I don't
dick.
give a shit. It's like, fuck that nerd. Okay. But like, seriously, let's hope that
I like you, Mike.
let's hope that
Thanks
it
for
freaking,
watching.
works out, right? So that we all look back and go, up, overreaction. You know what? Better overreaction than underreaction.
Right.
Brisk, did
Okay,
you just say Mike
that
Pence
doesn't
watches
mean
the show?
drive fear.
Of course,
You
everybody
shouldn't do
watches
that.
the show.
But if you're spending your money out there, I think right now is a really good opportunity to look at this and go, yeah, this is what happens when you book shit. You can't get, even if you've got trip cancellation insurance, you better make sure your
Trump's
trip
Twitch user
cancellation
is.
insurance covers
What's up, buddy?
What?
Hello.
something other than you
Welcome back.
being, dead almost.
Yeah.
How was
All right, so
Flea?
now that we've killed this issue, I want to talk to Bunny because he was doing something like Eevee. What were
Yeah,
what were you guys
we,
trying to kill?
So we were I took Pando's doctrine and then typical, I mean, you guys do it too, so I don't really feel bad. I renamed it and rebranded it so we could propaganda it for
Wolf cats.
or not wolf cats, first of all. We call them Wolverines in US time zone.
Wolf cats.
So you can come busting out a wormhole screaming Wolverines just like in Red Dawn.
Is it
we
is
had
it
a real-
Kiki's?
Yeah, Kiki's bombers,
There you
Kieran's the
go,
whole
Kiki
nine.
Stukas.
I PM'd Pando and I'm like, hey man, I'm running this doctrine too. You got any tips? He's like, don't drive the price of Kiki's up. I'm like, that's fair. We had a really, really nice period basis hole. Didn't find anything in period basis, and then caught a nerd in Quirius and a Rourke. But I didn't have enough newts to really kill it, so we just stayed on grid. Got bombed by the Athenor a lot.
How'd you get
Yeah.
Gotta bring if you're gonna go hunting Rorks, it never hurts to bring like 5 or 10 Sentinels on that fleet.
Yeah, we were just kind of short on numbers, but the highlight of the fleet, along with accidentally boosting on top of a retribution and killing it, was I
That's
dropped
hot.
an inhib as soon as we landed, and it, they were shooting it the entire time, and it tanked 422,996 damage
There you go.
Nice. Logi
That's
number
awesome.
1.
with 4 Kierans, and then finally I'm like,
Oh my
Loki, how
God.
is it tanking? He's like, good, but we don't have cat boosters anymore. I'm like, bet, time to leave. So
Yeah, those things are stable
Yeah.
with two reps running, and you could probably manage
They
to
are,
have the
yeah.
third one off and on. So I mean, the cap boosters, I guess, help a little bit, but
Be right
I wouldn't.
Too
think that
bad you
they're
didn't have a
necessary.
Logi FC to help.
Until we start, until whoever it is starts nuking the Kierans, then you're done. So there you go.
they were bouncing in between shooting us, shooting the Kierans. They shot my Stork for some reason. I don't know why.
Always kill a command burst. That's like a rule.
Yeah, but
Because
they didn't have
they're
enough
still
damage
that's
to
still it's
kill
the
it.
old school thinking of, oh, those guys boosh, we have to kill them first, even though you can't boosh anymore.
Yeah.
You can. It just
We
doesn't-
booshed out of we
I don't know.
only had 30, I think 37, so, and I had 2 command destroyers, and I'm like, fuck it. I mean, you don't ever get to do
Yeah,
this
you gotta be
anymore, so I
careful.
just count down and they both boosted at the same time and had the same level, so they fired pretty much simultaneously. It was
Very
fun.
nice.
I enjoy the concept. I especially now that we get more people, the more people that are interested, you have to kind of get a pretty decent stack of ships to actually to
How many
really
guys
make
did
an
you
impact.
have?
This tonight we had 37, but last
Okay.
time we did it, we dumped I think it was an Initiative Mercenaries Thanatos, and I think we had like
Yeah.
65, 65 or
Yeah.
70.
60
there for that.
between 60 and 80 or so is a pretty good
I get on
number
the
for
one where we
those.
don't find anything. What was
Please.
that? Was it Thursday?
Yeah,
I think
Drayden.
so. That was the
Yeah.
one where we had an ESO hole, but we didn't have enough logi to tank the carriers. Otherwise, we would have dove on them.
Oh, okay. Because I remember we went in and we were just sitting in the hole waiting, but we just couldn't find anything to jump on, so then we went home. But
Yeah, that was our
What was the
first
day
Wolverine
before
fleet.
that?
yeah, I got on the maiden voyage. Then I
Drayden, you should do wormhole probing with me, so I don't have to kill myself.
That is
for
the most
3 hours to
boring
nail it.
shit ever.
I actually
I
find
can
it
do it.
bad for you
It's-
guys.
Unless
having
there's
to
an
do
FC
that.
going,
Ugh.
Rain, we need content.
It was funny because
Like,
the last time I tried
Lisa?
doing some exploration stuff, I was going into wormholes and I was looking at some site. I'll probably have to get a hold of Jeremy because or LB because I was using this one site I just found. I was like, it seemed like it was a decent way to map. It was like a wormhole mapping website. We could type in everything, and I spent way more time trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing with that than I was actually scanning the holes. But man, after you go through like 4 or 5 wormholes and scan every signature in them, you're just done. You don't want to do it anymore.
Me personally, I find it helps to have a goal. Like, so I'd never really had the desire to probe for myself, but like for this, since I know what the kind of the goal is and what the stakes are, if you don't have anybody going through and getting decent connections, then you're not gonna have any kind of content for those fleets. So
I feel like wormhole probers is like almost underrated in terms of like people getting content. Like everyone, so it's like, yeah, we have such great FCs, they do so much work and blah blah blah.
Now the wormhole
like-
probing
Not-
team
not
is
in this
way
instance,
behind
no.
that shit.
I know, but like if you think of like anyone who sees Eve from the outside, they don't understand like there's like a handful of nerds in the background just like fucking paper pushing day in and day out to help find content, and they like. I mean, like within the alliance, they get recognized, and within the groups, they get recognized, and they, are praised for that work. But like when it comes to like, hey guys, we did all this great work. Who do we thank? And it's like, oh, you thank the FC. Oh, you thank the CEO. Oh, you thank the CSM. Like that's it.
They
Yeah.
should thank me for being in fleet with them. That's what I think.
I thank you for
Chris,
being the
you're an
bullet
F-
sponge.
You're an
A
F1
brisk-
pusher.
Tank. I am the tank. I am the target. I'm the bait
Yeah.
in every
do
fleet.
you deliberately have tankier
Cele-
ships
celebrity
now that you
tank.
get shot more?
Absolutely, I do. Yes, I do. Damn straight.
I feel like I need to do that sometimes. I'm like, everyone knows I'm the Logi FC. Maybe
I've
like,
talked about
slap
taking a fucking
Snorkel.
monitor out just as a joke, so I don't get killed immediately. I can't do anything.
You can do it. Like, there's really nothing that you can still whore on kill Mel. So you
Yeah, I
can do
get a
kill
target painter,
requirement or
right?
whatever, Yeah.
So there you go.
Just fly
And
in
then
front of the fleet, and they'll think that you're the
Right.
UFC.
Yep. I do have to. Speaking of probing wormholes, I do have to shout out Rain because I think she found the connection for our Providence fight last night, which was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
So.
I used Euro time zone, so a lot of our Europeans will actually probe, and then we leverage the work that they do to give us more opportunities. And like, I mean, so if you're one of those, I know we have like how the fuck do we have 200 people? So if you're out watching and you're like, hey, I want to do things in Eve, but I don't want to be an F1 monkey, but I also don't want to FC, volunteer to do probing
Manica
work.
Cat's cute.
Like you can do probing work, you can do I don't know, logistics,
Scouts,
links,
any number of
sinos.
yeah.
Yeah, you can probe wormholes. It sounds dirty too when you're telling your wife about it. Like, okay, that probably.
My wife's like, that sounds pervy. I'm like, no, it's not pervy. If it was pervy, I would.
That's
like
what
it.
your fucking wife is saying, Brisk.
Just one.
Yeah,
more
but
hole.
but that's what I said. It's not that pervy because I don't like it.
I find it sometimes
Ugh.
relaxing too. And if you're like Brother Bob, you can also probe and then do some data relic hacking and make money with it too.
Oh yeah, I forgot he said he does that.
Like you
I
can
actually
so
like doing that,
unironically
but the
make
thing is,
millions while you're
It feels
doing
like
this.
most of the data relic sites in the wormholes are guarded by sleepers, and those things fuck you up.
You gotta.
But you gotta go in
search
C1,
for
C2,
the-
C3.
You gotta have
Yeah.
your
private-
Astero,
or
right?
very
It's-
private
'cause
sites.
I
5
asked-
and
Look
6,
for the-
you'll never
look for the
find
name.
Yeah, LB, I asked, I was like,
Pirate named
how do you do
Yeah,
how do you
look
fight
for
the
LB.
sleepers off those? He's like, Astradios is fine. So I took Astradios into one. I didn't know, I was in like a C6 or a C5, I think. And I went in there and they
Oh no, you
volleyed
got your
almost-
ass beat.
Well, it's like one volley. It was all my shields and like half my armor, and I was armor tanked with my hardeners running. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, warp out, and then one more volley all the way through my armor and like 20% of structure left, and then I warped out. I'm like, fuck me, LB, what are you talking about? You could do these in Astradios? No way. So
Yeah.
Rain almost got wiped off the face of the fucking earth whenever we were
It was,
diving at
like,
Drifter Hole.
Yeah, before I
Drifter
even
holes
knew
are
what
scary
happened.
too.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta watch for those battleships. They will
No,
DD
no,
your
we
ass
were-
so
battleship.
fucking
We
We
were
fast.
fucking
what
Lancers.
was it, like
Everyone's like,
10
oh.
clicks off the hole, and
Oh
there's
my God.
nothing. I think it's actually only Lancers where only it's like fuck it, we can take the Lancers out with Kieran's fine. And it like 10 clicks from the hole,
They've
Rain
changed
screams
it.
battleship, and it like almost 2 shots are into death. It was great.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's funny,
I have,
we
like,
were-
a
we were-
battleship yellow box, and I check 10 kilometers, and I'm in an afterburn. I'm like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah, you're
dead.
dead.
And I just whoosh like my shields.
We were. They must have did something to the drifter mechanics in one of the patches because they don't stop warping in. You kill
they
3 or 4
bug out.
battleships and like another 10 warp in, and you kill the
No,
10,
no,
another
you
10
don't kill
warp in.
them. You don't kill them.
I know, but we were doing that because we were sitting on the hole waiting to jump through, and we were just like, "Fuck it, kill them," and it was a bad idea. I was like, we should
Risk
just farm these or
accidentally.
something because this is crazy. They just keep coming.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're scary. But yeah,
Yeah,
so if
they
you're,
fixed that.
if you're ever one of those people who wants to try shit, definitely do that. I find it to be fun, unless I'm getting yelled at.
I enjoy
and, like, getting
scanning.
yelled
I
at.
do like doing it. Just I don't know if I could do it for 2 or 3 hours straight all the
No,
time.
Oh, you
what-
don't
like,
have
what you
to.
do is you
I
have a
need to
prep.
train my
It's one
scanning
of those I
skills
like
better.
doing it
They're
once
not
in a
very
while,
good.
but
If
after
you don't actually have to have scanning skills. So I use
have
like a
mostly
T1
maxed out.
frigate with nothing but a prober and sisters probes.
But it
And-
takes longer,
I
right?
mean, yeah,
It's like
it goes
three-
a
it's just three
lot
scans.
quicker if you have the skills.
Yeah, but like getting the skills is like injectors, and I don't want to do that shit.
you don't
I think
need
it's
to-
only
Or you
like-
could just train them.
I don't think it's that long.
Just put 'em in the
because
queue.
I
It's-
have.
it's
What the fuck else you got to train, Logic Girl?
It's a couple of days.
I have a lot of alts.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
say astrometric pinpointing and range finding. I think are the 2 skills, and to
Yeah.
get them to 4 doesn't take very long.
I think
No,
Oh,
I
they
think you can
do
get
that.
all necessary probing skills to 4 within a month.
I have most of them to
There you
5.
go.
I think the only ones I have 4 are the ones where it's the duration of the scan time is at 4.
Yeah, that's like astrometrics, range finding, or something.
Yeah, and I think
King Aries says you can
There's one
two-pass
other one
every
that's
hole in a
for 4.
wormhole with a day 1 character and sisters in a frigate. That's what I do. That's what I do.
yeah,
I know.
You
I'm
use
not
the scanning
saying you
ship.
can, it
Like,
just
you use an
takes
Astero and.
Yeah, it has to be a bonus.
How would you
frigate.
have a
It can't
day
just
one
be a
character?
crow or
Yeah, you want to use a
sisters.
bonus frigate, and you want to use the sisters
Because
launcher and the
sisters,
sisters
you
probes.
can already use sisters as a day
I
1.
know you can already use them, but like, how would you afford
You
them?
could even, and I think
You're a day 1 character.
you could even put in
No,
implants. Like
we're
You know how
talking
you
about all
afford
You
them.
have to buy that
You know how you
$4.99
afford
pack,
them?
Dirk, right?
You
Ugh.
buy
You
buy
buy
the
the-
newbie
buy the-
pack
to
for
buy the Destroyer
$5, which
pack.
comes with 110 plex to convert to ISK and
Now,
spend
before
however
we
you
before
want.
we start talking about this, because this is a good segue into that topic, I do want to ask Drayden: is it true that you have anal probing to 5?
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
absolutely.
Oh.
Who doesn't?
All right.
I mean, who
So-
does?
I was.
Do we
sitting
want
here
to talk
trying-
about Manic's favorite
I
thing?
thought it was anal.
I was
probe
trying to
defense,
find a
but
way to
whatever.
segue to what's going on in the north, but
Yeah,
we can talk about
that
the
segue
We don't
came
even
out
talk
of
about
completely
that.
Well,
out
hold
of
on,
nowhere.
hold on.
Truth be
before
told,
we
I'm
get to
sick
that-
of talking about this.
Well,
What,
we haven't
Right?
talked about it.
Before
You
we get
guys-
to that,
hold up.
can we just make sure that people like know out there? Because like I can tell you right now, with 209 people freaking watching right now, there's a portion of them out there that did not freaking
What the fuck
log
do
in.
you all
or
do on a Friday night?
Wait,
They're
we got
watching
nothing better
us.
to do
You got-
now.
sit
These
and
are
watch
our
us?
fans.
Wait till Italian
Okay,
Stations goes off. There's another
Jeez,
44 that'll leave that.
yes.
You got the Capsuleer Fortitude rewards, where it's like you get your free skill points for all that shit where they were downtime from the DDoS and all that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Make sure you log in.
Log
you
in,
log in
claim
and
your
get
skill
your free
points.
SP. Okay, get your socialized SP and shit like that.
Oh god.
And then what else? And then we've got the 15% off Plex until March 3rd.
I already
Stop
bought
killing
some.
for CCP. Stop.
Okay, well, hold on. Because as part of that as well, we've also got this thing that Manic, he wants to tell us about.
I really
Manic,
I'm sick
tell
of
us all
I'm-
about
at
it.
least,
Did we
like,
tell us about
I'm
it?
repeating
How
the
come
on,
same
Manic?
shit
I wanna
over
hear
and
what you
over
have to
again.
say.
Slippery
I have
slope,
no
slippery
idea.
slope,
It was
slippery
literally your
slope.
fault.
I have
Wait,
no
you
idea
mean
what
you're
your
stepping
views are
down
on this
the
subject
slippery
at all.
slope. I'm
Okay,
sick
you
of talking about it.
You remember
It's happening. It's
a month
here.
ago?
CCP has made up their mind that this is the direction they're going. Fine. I'm
Do you guys
not happy
remember
about
a
it.
month ago, how we all said, "Hey, selling SP because it's not created by the players is a bad idea," and everyone's like, "Oh, it's fine. It's for the players." Guess what?
Yeah.
We're selling ships now.
And
Congratulations.
we made jokes. We're like, okay, we set like the
They've been selling
theoretical
ships for a
example. I
while.
was like, okay, what if they start selling fitted ships? Is that a good idea? And most people were like, hell no, they'll never do that. Now they're doing it.
Wake the fuck
Remember-
up. Where
remember
were
the
you
slippery
8
slope?
months ago?
Yep.
Sorry.
Can you imagine if some dumbass out there paid $5 for a fitted fucking destroyer.
Cormorant.
And that's
I
the
know, right?
other thing. Like, so that okay, wait.
You spent
Okay, so
$5 on a
there's
corn. What the fuck is wrong with you?
People are split on this.
Shot.
There's one side that is like, oh, this is great. It helps new players, and then the other side of the community is like, this. Who the fuck would pay $5 for destroy this
No,
worthless?
there's
CCP
nobody
is
out there that I've
scamming
heard
new
ar-
players.
There's nobody
So
out there
it's
that
either
I've heard
good for new
argued
players
good
or
for
it's
new
not.
players.
Which is it? Make up your fucking
Well, I
mind.
think they
I'm
said you
sick
get
of
some
talking about
flex
this.
stuff
Well,
with
hold
it,
on.
but-
Here's the question. You see the ship in there. I see the other things in there, and the
Plex.
ship is like
The
it
skin,
comes along.
It's
the
with
also
the
how
Plex,
much
the
Plex are they,
SP.
how much Plex
I
are you
don't
getting?
care
the
what's
peer
in
is
the
the
pack.
deal.
I don't.
and
okay.
the other items.
This is the deal. They have been trying to come up with ways to do two things at the same time for the last multiple years. They
Was
wanna
one of
help
them
new
ruin the
bros,
economy?
and they want to sell shit. And this is a way to help new bros and sell shit, they think. So we'll sell them a fitted ship because, hey, that's
So
easy.
help
The
new
next-
And you
bros
get
or
some
help anyone?
skins.
So
And we'll give
What
you
all
some
about
the
the
Plex and
idiots
some
in
Omega
chat that are
time.
going to start because I know people are going to
Super
bring this up. There's like, oh, it's the same thing as buying Plex to convert to
because it's
ISK to buy a
creating a
ship.
ship out of
It's
thin air.
not the
Look,
same
it's not,
thing
and I understand
at
that.
all.
And I
Buying
accept that.
Plex for ISK is not the same thing as paying CCP to generate items for you.
Yeah, because it's
The
not
thing
it's not a
is,
ship built by Plex.
As much as I look, I understand the point, Manic's point.
What if
okay?
you can buy an FC? Like
At you can buy
an
FCs.
hour-
What are you
Can
crazy?
buy
What
FCs?
What
That's
about an
Of course
hour
you
with
can.
an FC?
I mean, you could buy fleet members.
Like an
People
hour-
have done
like where
it.
an
I
FC
wanna
You could
buy-
buy
down and
alliances.
shows
Yeah.
you shit.
But the next
Didn't Miss
logical
Rabbit buy
progression-
fucking Ranger Regiment? Come on.
But hold on, no. I
Want
mean,
to
but
buy
like you
FC,
pay CCP and
give me
CCP then
FC,
asks
fun.
Elo Knight to like walk your ass around for an hour.
So if the next logical
He'll take your
Anybody
money
wants to
For
buy,
SP.
if
Based on
anybody
Elo
wants
gets
to
paid in
buy
SP or something
for the
like that.
low price of I don't know how much I'm worth, like $15, whatever
Oh, no,
like
you
a
gotta
I'll
do
let
that.
see a
Well,
fleet
that's-
for $5.
There ain't no
for
way you're worth
$15,
$15.
I will come onto your comms and I'll FC you for a week. $15.
Nice.
That's how just for the
$15
price-
for a
Yeah.
week?
Mike Flood,
For a
Mike Flood, I
week,
guarantee
That's pretty
it.
good.
What's your Venmo?
I would pay
know
Mike Flood
Flood would
$5
sell
to
his
FC
ass.
for me.
I would give you my OnlyFans, but it got hacked.
Oh shit!
for
Blaze,
lazy-
Look,
What if it was a
So, all
$15
right, so,
price, but
so,
CCP got $750 and you got
Wait,
$750.
so the point is, we don't like the idea that they're selling fitted ships, and I think that's perfectly reasonable because the whole point is that's something that the economy of the game already does. Don't generate shit for nothing. I don't have a problem with skill points. I don't have a problem with Plex or other kind of crap. When you're getting into the objects, that's where you're kind of at that
Did
really
you value
borderline.
the rest of the package, the skins and the SP and the Plex?
No, because they don't have any value. Because
What do you mean
if
they
it's
don't
in a
have any
$5,
The
if
Somebody
they
was
look,
just telling me that they
if
had
it's in a
value,
fi-
like
Plex has
$2
value.
for a million
the
SP,
Plex
like
has
that.
value. The skins, if it's in a
They have
$5
value?
pack, they're going to be all over the place.
they have value.
Well,
Hold on, if it's a $5,
but it's not gonna
pack
be
and they've
much. It's
got
gonna be
skins
20 million
and
ISK or
SP and
something.
Plex, and then they throw in a fitted fucking destroyer.
depends on the
Are they
skin,
selling the destroyer or is it just coming
it doesn't
along?
matter. It's
It's-
oh my god.
it's
I
part
hate
of the
this argument
package.
people use. You're not paying for the ship. You're paying for all of this other stuff, and the ship comes for free. Bullshit. You paid $5. You got a ship. You paid for that ship.
IR Life says we got to draw a line somewhere.
The
That's
To,
what
no,
I've
or
been
to
saying
Noisy's point.
for fucking
To
months.
Noisy's
hold
point.
on, but-
To no,
but
look,
do
look.
we?
To Noisy's point. Noisy asked, Brisk, when you were on CSM, did you tell CCP to stop selling T1 frigates? What I told them, and I can't go into detail about what we talked about in that session, but what I said was, you guys should not be monetizing anything that the players can create that's part of the in-game economy. That's what I said.
Like skill points, thanks.
Like
not
skill
skill
points.
points. They're
Skill points are
not.
created by
No,
players.
they're not.
I
They're
think
created
they
by
are.
the
Talking
game by over time by you having an account. That's different.
So I think
That's
what
different.
Noisy's talking about too is that
I'm talking
there were
about
pla-
stuff that's
Stop! Shut the fuck
economy
up. So
stuff.
Noisy's talking about packs that CCP
I know.
sold
I know what he's talking about.
specifically to starter packs, specifically for brand new accounts. So instead of like me and my account, and I go out and buy what they call DLC or packs or whatever.
Yes, Frank. Thanks for mansplaining this to me. I know what
I'm
he's
not
talking
explaining it
about.
to you, Brisk. I'm explaining it to everyone fucking else. We have 200 people in chat. Pay the fuck attention.
I think they know what we're
So,
talking about.
What CCP was doing was carting starter packs, so you would start with like say a T1 ship, and I commonly saw a Venture. That's completely different. That's creating something for brand new players and only brand new accounts, similar to like referral packs.
Is there
Referral
something
packs,
wrong
you
with
get a
creating
million-
something for brand new players?
I don't think there's anything wrong with something for brand new players.
I
Limiting
do
it
not
to
want them
brand new
selling stuff
players
that you can create
and
in the
brand
game.
new accounts is perfectly okay with me.
I'm with Brisk. They shouldn't be selling things that can be created in the game because
I think
the,
CCP
the
I
player-driven
think I was right, and
market is a
CCP needs to
huge
rent fucking
selling
Bunny's
point
ass
for
out.
EVE, and this undermines
It is.
that.
That's the whole point. That's why this game is different from every other game. And that's the thing. We've always said there's a line with monetization. The gold ammo, the buying of objects, the buying of stuff in the game that is created by the players, that kind of shit is not.
Is it a
something
slippery
we want them
slope to
get
gold
into.
ammo? If
It's
they
not.
sell
It's
a
not. Look,
crappy
I
ass
don't.
T1
Look,
chip?
I am not going to say that this is the start of anything bad because Noisy and Rain are right. They've been doing this for a while. It's not like this is anything
Well,
brand
is
new.
this a
But
brand
I
new
don't
pack
like
for
it.
brand new accounts, or is it for like me to go out?
Well,
and
what's
buy
the?
and
How do you
destroy?
know? Or what's a brand new account? I have a new
Something
email
where
address
you
and I
click
create a new
pay
account and I
online
buy
and
this.
it says,
There's
okay,
a
create
difference
your
between a
account
brand
here.
new account and a brand new player.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
The
It's,
thing
it's
is,
just
so,
for
like-
a new account. They can't tell the difference between a new account and a new player
Right.
if
Yeah,
you're
so I'm
using
talking
a
brand
fresh
new
email.
accounts. I mean,
What if you had
I'd
to
have
sign
no
a
problem with brand new
legal
accounts.
document that says I am a new player?
That's unenforceable.
That is unenforceable.
So if Manic's video is anything to go by, the next thing that we'll see is
The
Solve
next
for
thing-
sale.
Like an
That's the thing.
affidavit.
Solve
Like
for
I
sale.
made a
No,
dope
what instead of
video
just
wasn't
about
Solve.
CC
terms of
doing
service?
this.
It
It was
and
the capital
came
It
pack. It was
through.
the
else.
it was
I
the capital
want-
pack, and then the
I
Solve
want some
pack.
recognition for my prophetic video.
I think there's some soft coming up for sale in the
Pro-
north.
profit
That
velocity.
soon, okay, so now
Derek,
since
did you
Solve
they're
fart?
selling
What are you
chips,
waving the
the
arrow
next
for?
thing they're going to be selling Sov.
Manic
Mark
walked
my
in here
words.
with
Velocidometer.
way
Speaking
too
of
much
Solve-
fucking like woman axe body spray or whatever the fuck it is.
Woman
Blazing
Axe.
Bunny,
All right.
what do you have to update us about the North?
I have a couple things. I don't know. Are we done with this discussion?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before
Let's-
we,
let's-
before we
we-
get
we-
into
we
this?
don't
topic?
want-
We don't want to talk about this.
Yeah,
I mean,
this,
we
this,
are. But
this will
like,
drone on.
I think Dirk farted.
No,
too.
this we've talked about this in past weeks, and it'll drone on for an hour. So let's move on.
All right. So if anybody's been on Reddit and if you actually give enough of a shit about this, things are well, I'm gonna go ahead and officially say they're winding down.
What about character transfers?
Character
That's-
transfers.
no, no.
So here's the thing about here's my only point about character transfers. I've never actually done
Buddy,
it with
he
Plex.
derailed you.
I've
Hold on.
transferred.
I don't want to
I've
derail you.
transferred-
Me either, I did it
was
when I
trying to get
carried-
some-
a bunch.
I was trying to get some
And they
lightweight
just
shit out of the way to
derailed
make
it.
sure we get
Buddy,
it out of the
that
fucking way.
focus.
Yeah. So
This is all
Talk
right.
about
So,
the major happenings in the fucking
Okay.
north because you know
well,
what?
do you
we
want
had
to talk about the
we-
character transfer
we
thing
had a
quickly, and then we'll go to the
resetting of
north?
the game.
Okay, character transfers quick. We can go to that.
I've
Okay.
never
Character
me
transfers
personally,
for Plex.
I've never
This was
ever
not-
transferred them for Plex. I've always.
I have
used
never done it either.
$20.
When
I've
I
always-
transferred
yeah.
one character from my Brisk account to a separate account that became my Titan pilot, I did it with money.
Yep.
This is something
Same.
that they were going to get rid of 3 years ago, and they brought it back for a little while. It was always temporary. It sucked up GM resources. Everybody who's cry-titting about this needs to shut up.
Well,
It's not a big deal.
You say
Hold on one
pride
second.
titting?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
That's good.
Number one, character
They're
transfers
crying
from Plex
on
from
their
Plex
tits.
has been around almost as long as
Literally
game time
never.
for
That was
Plex.
way back
That's an
in
old Star Wars
Bizarre
So,
reference.
days.
so this
it
goes
doesn't
back
matter.
to I
That's a
think
Star
something
Wars
like
reference?
2010. However, in 2017,
Star
I
Wars
think you
Galaxy
said the other day, and Noisy will be the one to correct it out there because of a change that
Is
they
cry
made.
titting Star Wars canon?
It was
Because-
a Star Wars Galaxy
because of a
thing we used to
change-
say.
Because
That's
of
not
a
what I
change
asked.
that they made in
But it
terms
should be
of
Star
being
Wars
able to pay for it for cash, and therefore that side could be automated better. They then had to put back in, I guess, what appeared to be a manual way of doing it for Plex. But the whole character transfers for Plex has been around almost as long as Plex has
As
been
long as
around.
I've played.
I honestly didn't. know it
However,
was a
you had to
thing.
make the decision about whether
You
or
didn't
not
know this was a
freaking
thing?
No.
either 2 or
How
what
long
is
have you been
now
playing?
1,000 Plex
Since
was worth it
2004,
compared to the
but
He's a
here's the
fucking
thing.
zoomer.
If
So
you were
I've
gonna
never-
buy it with
Did you not
in-game
know
is-
this was a thing?
Because I've bought 3 characters throughout my career.
Boughton?
Oh my god, bought.
Boughton.
Shut
Did you
up.
just say
Boughton.
fucking Boughton?
bought
Shut up,
purchased?
Brisk. No one
Boughton
talks. No one's
shots.
asking you. Bought-
Shut
Fuck
up.
you,
bought
Brayden.
shots.
God damn it.
I purchased
want
3
some
characters, and for every single one, I've always paid $20
When did
off
you
my
start?
card.
Dude,
2003.
you got scammed.
Four.
When?
2004. The end of 2004 in November.
So like, and I also transferred a number of characters as well, and I also paid the $20 because you know what? That was the better deal. The value in Plex was a worse kind of
It's
way
way
of doing
higher,
it.
unless
However,
you-
if you were Plex rich, due
Right.
to in-game
Or
transactions
ISK
and
rich
things
and
like
could
that,
buy
then
the
you didn't
Plex.
give a fuck.
Yeah, because if you could buy the Plex with ISK, it was cheaper because it's not free. It's your in-game ISK, but it's free as far as your wallet's concerned to do a character transfer instead of $20. But or it could be $20 instead. It's almost like what, almost $40 for the Plex.
Right.
So-
So that's what I assume, because I assume the whole Plex, using Plex to transfer characters came from the people who sold characters quite frequently on the bazaar. I assume that's who most of the people who really will notice it was gone.
Well,
but then
and
again,
those are
character
the-
bazaar doesn't
But
matter.
tho-
anymore.
and
those are
point
the
there.
people.
Hold on,
Those
you
are the
make a
people
good
that are
point
buying
there.
those. Those are the people that are buying those accounts to extract all the skill
No,
points
no,
and then biomass.
The
Yes.
person who comes into possession of the new account is not the one who pays for the transfer, right? Unless it's somehow built in that, number one, you're going to pay me this much ISK for the fucking character, or like whatever the hell it is, plus the Plex I need to be able to do this, right? The point is that there were two ways of doing it. Just like there were with a number of other things in EVE, it has been around for a long time, and yes, they went through this transition, but they had it, and now they're removing it. The question is this: are they removing it because it's too much effort? Therefore, it requires a GM to manually do it because for some reason or
Yes.
another
That's exactly why they're doing it.
Hold on. You're trying to tell me that they cannot program a mechanism that
They're
sits
not
there and
going
goes,
to.
They
"How do
already
you
have
wanna
an
pay for it?"
automated
They have
process.
one for money. Why
There's
would they
already
do it
an
for
automated
play?
process. There's
Hold
no
on.
reason that they should be
That's what it
doubling their
ultimately comes
work
down
to
to.
do this manually.
It ultimately comes down to not because they couldn't do it and not because it wouldn't be easy for them to do it, but because they make more money out of the $20. Because when
Cost
somebody
versus
out there
benefit.
buys
That's
Plex,
always
once
what
the
it comes
Plex
down
is in
to.
the- you
Cost
would
and
never-
benefit.
You would never sit there and transfer a character to someone else and go out and buy your own Plex for cash and then like use that to do it. You would just pay cash because it's cheaper.
Correct.
And
will
once
also
somebody
say-
else goes out there and
So
buys Plex,
why
it's
are we
already
arguing
booked
about
as income
this?
in the game.
I will
So
also
it's supposed
say
to be a
that
They
quick
uh,
topic.
make out from this.
But Dirk, what about poor people?
What about fucking
but like
poor people?
broken
They
here.
can just die.
Whoa.
You know what? Character transfer is for all. I don't give
Oh,
a
sorry, I
shit.
thought we were talking about the healthcare in America.
Oh, that's later.
Brains
I've-
are burning, bro.
I've also noticed
But
that
this does not come down to a thing of it takes too much GM time because they could literally fucking program this to be just as automated.
Or simply
The other
hire
way.
more employees. Oh, what a revolutionary idea.
No, they don't even have to hire more employees because that actually takes money away from the money that they take in from this. I don't know how many character transfers out there actually happen using the Plex method of things. Okay, I don't know how many actually happen.
character
overall,
transfers
but
happen. Period. I mean, I
the
don't think it's
best
that
way
common
for
anymore.
CCP to do this
Too, but not as much, yeah.
from an
It's not.
income
What's the
standpoint
point?
is just
Why?
cash for doing
They
it.
only-
After
the only
injectors,
names-
there's
first of
really
all,
no
so
need.
the
That's the
discernible
thing.
impact,
That's why
right?
I always thought it was funny that everybody got bent out of shape about this on.
Yeah, the
But
character
the only
bazaar-
discernible impact
Where you
to me
have the
that-
ability
that
to
I honestly
create
worry
a new
about.
account, a new character with the name that you want. It looks the way you want it to look. That doesn't have a thing in the employment saying that it was a character transfer. Why would you buy one? The only excuses are, you don't want to spend the money on skill injectors, which I guess is okay, but you're still spending it on this. Or, you want a name
Time out.
like the guy that bought Chesser.
No,
I can
no.
understand. You want
Take
to
a
buy
shot.
Chesser. You're going
Dirk
to buy
said
that. That's
timeout.
fine.
Shots.
You're looking
What?
at it. You're looking at it.
I'm
you're
talking.
You're
I'm
looking at
filling
it from-
time, Dirk.
You're looking at it from a transaction between two different people. Okay, I have
Correct.
done more character transfers between my own accounts than I ever did in terms of, or being involved with buying a character or selling a character.
Look at Mr. Moneybags over
Uh,
here.
no, because you
There
know
you
what?
go. I've only
During
done it
different
once.
times
So.
in my Eve career, I needed different characters on different accounts, and I would sit there and swap them over. I need to be able to log these all in at one time, or that sort
I'm
of
just
thing.
fucking with you.
I've done more of that
Oh.
just internally, and I would bet
You do what you
I
gotta
would
do, baby.
bet that
How
the
much do you think
number
I could
of
sell my
players out
character
there that
for?
actually do character transfers are probably more.
I
How
give
many
you
skill
25
points does it have?
cents.
Now it's
It's
based on
probably
skill
more
points.
juggling than it is actually transferring
Rain,
between
you're-
two different human beings.
I think all of us on this show probably could sell our accounts for a lot of it.
Do you think I could RMT
Probably.
it for a lot of
Maybe
this?
not me.
I think you
I
could
wouldn't
RMT
pay
it and
anything
get
for your
banned.
account.
Yeah, but
They
I
wouldn't
wouldn't sell my
ban me.
account.
Don't they know
So-
who I am?
The only thing the last thing I personally
work for me.
have to say on the character transfer thing is I always personally had a fleeting hope that one day they'd kind of overrule this whole skill injectors thing. I've never liked
It's
it.
never going to happen.
I don't like.
I
it
know.
either.
I've always hoped.
The
I hate
Pandora's
skill
box.
injectors. I don't like them. And now with this, it's no longer. I guarantee you, this puts the final nail in the large coffin that is the character bazaar. So, I mean, this is it. This is the end game. There's going to be no more
Character
solid.
Bazaar died with injectors.
Right,
Like,
not
yeah.
entirely
Right.
though. Not entirely, because if you say like
No, it
you
didn't.
needed a Logi,
you needed, like, a
you
high
had no
skill.
idea how to skill it correctly,
Yeah.
then you could just buy one,
Yeah,
and
it-
it's on.
But if
and
you
it's
had
on
no idea
target.
how to
It's
skill
still
inject,
allowed
you
to have-
would have no
Guys,
idea what you're looking for in the character
start
design.
at
I
$50
understand.
a week.
Yeah, you just
I don't
you
want to
look
get
on
into this
Character
debate
Bazaar,
again.
and it says perfect Logi pilot for sale.
I don't want to
Well,
get
I
into
can
this
write
debate
perfect
again,
Logi
but I
pilot
need
on
to
anything.
make
I
this
can call my
clear,
cat a
okay?
perfect Logi pilot. It's
You
not
can say
fucking true.
that skill injectors were a negative for the game, but the reality is,
I'm saying
without
there still
skill
are, but-
injectors, the game would not exist anymore. Because that's the
Yeah, it
main way
would.
that CCP
You
makes
know how?
money now.
Okay,
You don't know that.
And
for
there is
sure.
no
Revolutionary
way
idea.
that this
CCP
game
Well,
would
no,
still be
wouldn't be in
around
a better
if they
financial.
hadn't
Money?
gone that way.
Here it
CCP would
is.
It
probably
makes
be in a
them
worse
a
financial
shit
situation.
ton
for
of
$20.
money.
Alliance skins for $20. Magically, CCP never goes.
And it's
bankrupt.
not gonna
Wow,
work.
it's such a revolutionary. Yes, it would. You don't think Goons would demand all
Alliance
their
skins would
members
sell
to
like.
not
I'm
wear
not
the
look the
Alliance
guy.
skins?
Stop.
Are you kidding me? No,
Listen.
you
It's
asked
simple
me to fight.
nonsense.
No,
Say that
no,
never
I'm
was
not
the
art.
game
Look,
would
I was the
begin.
biggest
Okay.
proponent of Alliance skins. I agree with you
Yes,
100%.
guess what
But I'm
CCP
telling you
is
this
doing?
right now.
You know what they're
You
doing?
buy them one
Hypernet,
time, and then what else are you gonna do?
protection,
You
fucking
buy them
fan
once, and then it's
testing,
one
that's what
time.
they're doing.
What if you
That's
change
the whole
alliances?
point. Skill injectors are
Buy one
are
time, or you just make more. You have
have
corpse
made
skins,
Anyway.
CCP a shit ton of money.
Their sub money
So
is
whatever
gotta be
damage
half
they
the
may have
skill
done to the
injectors.
game,
Bring
they've
back
kept the game
jackets.
going.
Let it happen.
So
They
there you
have.
go.
It doesn't mean
That
they
players
couldn't have
can no longer
priced
get,
other
that they
things.
paid Plex for.
Look, I'm
Buy
telling you
nothing.
guys, the easiest way to
I
get new
regret bringing
players in
this
the
up
game
now.
is to say, look, you're not going to get fucked by not having played this game for 15 years like the rest
No,
of
no,
us.
no. Hold on. You're literally so ignorantly binary in that whole
Oh,
thing.
shut the fuck
It's
up,
like-
Dirk.
it's like you
Ignorantly
could
binary. Why don't you
completely
suck,
you could
suck my dick?
You could completely come up with other ways that they could.
I'm not
also
saying
have
that they
priced
can't
it.
come up with other stuff, but they can
So-
only
so
milk
then
the
don't say
veterans
it was
enough
either
money. They
this
need to
or
get new
that.
players
It's
in the
like-
game. How do you tell a new player, oh, you know what? You are forever going to be fucked compared to this guy in PL
No.
with 80 million skill points because you can only generate this at a set
No.
rate. Shut the fuck up, moron.
They
You
could-
know full well
they could-
there
they
was no other
could
way
have-
for them to do
they
this.
could
How
than
have
what
about
they
done
did.
a number
CCP
of
sells
different
max
things.
level characters?
And also
Yeah, well, there you
made-
go.
and
Well,
also
how about
made
that?
money on
Would
it.
that be worse than skill injectors? Come on.
I don't know. I didn't hear what
Stop
you
it.
said. Because like three
Dirk-
fucking
Dirk's
pe-
not
people were
listening.
talking.
I kind of regret
Well,
bringing
I mean,
it
the
up.
fact of the matter is that there are multiple ways that they could have done it, and they could have also made money off of it, probably equal money, maybe even more money.
This was
depending on
supposed to
how
be a
they
quick
priced
topic.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
this is
wasn't
supposed
it?
to be
Whatever.
quick.
All right,
We were supposed
go
to
to
get
the
to the
north.
north.
Hey,
Yeah.
Never
Tell
say
us
there's only
about
one
tell
way.
us about the
Never
north.
say
the
there's only
north.
one way.
Speaking about the North, DJ has something to say to you, but he's too much of a little bitch to come on and say it. But I wanted to point it out so you're
hold on,
aware.
but I know Bunny's been
What?
wanting to get into this
Who?
all night.
What?
Wait,
Zach.
being a
are we
bitch?
talking about that North
DJ.
bomb drop?
Like the
Oh,
actual
so-
fucking North, dude.
So
All right. Tell us the news.
at
that
the
we've
beginning
all-
of the
we
week,
all know.
I was really excited because I got
DJ's down there.
I got really good leaks from a source of mine, and I was like, oh shit, I can't wait for OpenCom so I can leak all this. But unfortunately, now it's all public knowledge. So I will tell you this: the war in the North is over. Which, if it wasn't over before, it's more over now. The Siberian Squad has already announced Hanzo Viper is like the only FC that lived it that was actually super active and competent
Wasn't a
enough.
coward.
Wasn't a coward in Deadco, so he could actually fight, on a strategic level. And now he's taking his alliance, picking it up, and moving to Legacy. They're gonna live where XIX used to. On right after that announcement came Sort's announcement that the alliance known as Darkness is disbanding. It's over. It's pack it in. The corps are disbanding. They're all gonna go all separate places. They're going to Initiative.
All of them? I thought some were
then
going to
it's
go
over.
with Swords.
I mean, they're so the way he worded it is they're welcome to merge in, they're welcome to do whatever they want, but they can either go with Sib Squad, they can do it's all up to them. He said, please stay for the Keepstars and anchoring, but he's not in charge of anybody anymore.
I'm looking forward to hanging out with Sword a lot more in the future.
Sure.
Is Sword going to Initiative?
That's
there-
all I am going to say.
He
at
said
the
he was
moment.
going to go do his own thing.
Whoa,
but if Sword,
that sounded
whoa,
like
that
a-
sounds
Yeah,
like
trash
that,
I,
alliance.
look,
Get some more
I'm not.
trash
I'm not
people.
telling you
What do
guys
know?
anything.
that
All I
sound-
am saying is that Sword and I
Clap
are
them
friends, and I'm
cheeks.
looking
Drop
forward to
them
spending more
leaks.
time with him.
That's
all I'm saying.
that is a lawyer's way of saying Sword's joining in it, boys.
That sounded
Yeah.
like you had
I
a
didn't.
drippy
I,
dick and
did
you
I
went,
say
"I'll
that?
leak it."
No.
Isn't that what
I
Read
didn't
between
say
the
that.
lines.
just said?
I just said I look
Said
forward to
they were
playing with
joining
him.
in it.
So
Are you guys staying?
the part about
deployed in
this that I find the most interesting is it's come back up more and more now that the announcement that the alliance is disbanding has made it to Reddit and all that. is that clip from the Meta Show whenever he says, "I'm the best time zone tanker in the game, and I've won more wars, and you guys have fucked," stuff like that. I kind of just had to watch. I listened to it on repeat on the way back from work today. It's I don't know.
You need a better Spotify playlist then.
Yeah, clearly, but it's kind of interesting. They've been there since the end of World War B, and now it's the end. They
Like
fought like
4 years
lions in
ago.
Tino against us, and then they gave up all a branch. Then they announced, they're like, hey, we're gonna go back to J1. We're gonna fight to the
I got
fight
Dirk
to the end
singing.
for Declan, and then
Now,
They-
all
then
right.
it fell
So,
apart.
all right. So now I will say this. In Sort's defense, he was talking about Test, not you guys. You
I will
guys are the ones
say-
that
We were
knocked him
already
out, not
fighting.
Test.
Test has done fuck all on this campaign.
They haven't done
That's
anything.
for
You
everybody
guys
else
have done the
except-
most.
If
Test
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 is
has not done
doing
shit.
any of this,
I
they
can tell
fucking
you,
suck
I
my
very
dick.
much value everybody who is part of this.
Oh, shut up!
Shut-
Stop being diplomatic.
No,
fucking
hold on,
fuck
hold on.
pleasing.
No, I
All
do.
right, then I'll say it.
So
Test can fuck my dick.
I'll give precise shout outs. For example,
To
Sao and
what?
Kobe and the Chinese the Knights of the Northern Moon and VVV.
Right,
Love those
guys
dudes
are
to
cool.
death.
I like them.
The U.S. Time Zone crew for NCPL. We've never really worked better together than we do now, and I'm really excited to see what comes next.
Are you guys going to stay up there? Because I don't want to move all the shit out of PF Tech. I want to keep killing shooting.
You
you.
just feed us.
So
We're gonna kill PF Tech.
we can talk about that too, and about my disdain. So last time on Open Comms, I came on here and talked about how we were going to fight to the death, U.S. Time Zone for life. And so instead of doing that, Asher and John Hartley have went on this huge crusade of anytime NC and PL get anywhere near close to fighting them, they fucking hide. I'm scrolling through my pings right now because there's a couple really beta male pings from John Hartley that drive me fucking nuts. And you can tell them, and I know that's what you guys want for me to go crazy, but
That's exactly what I want. So please do.
I mean,
So-
just when you say beta male, it's like
Shots
you're
to
already
Yara,
there. So it's like,
my
just
babe.
go.
So one of them said we're gonna farm Horde Feroxes until NC mids. That one's really pathetic. I released the chat logs between me and Asher whenever he said he'll never fight me again. Battleships. Oh, I found it. It's please come fly spaceships with me and I'll give you some Ferox kills until NC mids. And another one where he pinged out to the group and said, remember guys, it's not ISK efficiency that matters, it's kill death ratio. So if you guys want to fight, then let's fight. If not, shut the fuck up.
I will
I have
say
no
one
problem
thing
shooting
about
guys.
Test.
I like it.
Seku,
What'd
the
you say,
Bomber
Jason?
FC, Seku, the Bomber FC for Test has been a big contribution
yeah.
to this campaign.
I kinda got
Seriously,
derailed on
no
this whole
troll.
Goons thing. Yeah, the Predators dudes are fucking really good. I'm really glad
Top
to work
class.
with them. Yeah.
All right, they don't have to suck my dick then. But everyone else can.
I don't
suck my
know.
dick.
I don't remember seeing those guys out, but you guys. Have
I
been
mean,
doing this
you
for-
guys
Predators?
were here for like 3 days, got shit on, and then left. So I'm not surprised.
Well, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not within it.
At
least in this regard.
Speaking of in it, I would like
I'm
to
with-
congratulate my man Blurkus on making what's that
He
title?
is He's a tactical
Tactical
FC. now.
FC.
He's our
The
only
fuck
Dude,
does
is
tactical
that
a fat
even
cat
mean?
or, like,
He got promoted.
Yeah, he got
So
promoted.
this is
what?
great.
Just
So
in
now
time
maybe
for
when
them
he
to,
whelps
uh,
a
Or
nightmare
French
fleet, we'll
dog.
get SRP for it.
That's
Just
not
in
a
time
dog.
for you guys to return back to Fountain.
Is that one of those
We already
French
left.
fat dogs?
Zach
Or is that like a fat
Harvey.
Now,
Oh my
now the thing is, I kind of span because I'm in it, but I'm also
What the fuck
Karma
is
Fleet.
that on your
So
socks?
I'm in this Goons Expeditionary Force, and we're up in PF Tech, and I fight with you guys. I fight with those guys up there all
Who
the time.
sucks?
I'm Blazing's
That's fine.
fucking
What
bed.
socks?
Is that a fat cat? Or
That's
like-
his
oh,
dog.
oh,
That's
That's
a-
his dog, you moron!
Sorry,
This is your
dude.
first
show.
Jesus
It's
Christ!
his
dog has been on the show multiple
That dog has been. He has been on the show more than
That
you,
dog
Dirk.
is
With a
so
pair of socks
popular.
hanging out.
How,
gonna get
how,
him rolls in the
how do you
Discord.
mistake that?
How
for
do you
a-
I am
not
so sorry.
see that?
is because I haven't even been looking. I'm
It's
sorry.
a
Headed
fat
fucking head
Are
the
cat.
other way.
Are you high? Like,
that
how
was
can
a-
you
I'm
not
not.
tell that
It's
that's
like,
a
I've
dog?
never
That would be a
and it was like,
panther if it was a cat.
holy shit, that's what
Are
my
the-
fucking eyes
listen.
saw. Whatever, I don't give a shit.
Are the gummy bears you're eating gummy bears or are they edibles? What are you eating?
It was like this
What do
picture
you-
on fucking Twitter the other day. It was a cat sitting next to a black cat with its eyes closed, and it's
Yes.
like, open
It
your
looks
eyes
like a
and
cat's
tell them
shadow,
you're
yeah.
not
Oh,
my shadow.
yeah, I saw that, but
That's
that's
a
not
good
a
one.
cat. That's
That.
obviously a dog. And like, look at the size of him, and also
Yes.
the shape of it, and the
Well,
face.
now
and
that its fucking face is turned
basically
that way.
every part of that. How could
He
you
is
mistake that for a
adorable.
cat?
How did you?
Because when it was
I
the
can
other
tell
way,
you
I was seeing
Dirk, go get
I
your
was-
stupid
the
cat.
black
Show
part.
her,
I was
okay?
seeing just a freaking like
Dirk, go get-
French
go get your
bulldog.
Look,
readers.
Dirk, you
Go get
can
your
try
old
to
man
try to
glasses.
explain away the fact that you thought a dog was a
Look,
cat for the
I'm
next
not-
hour.
I
We're
was
not
wrong.
buying it.
I can.
What do
tell
you guys
that,
want to talk about
I
now?
can admit to being fucking
I can
wrong.
tell you that every time I come on the show and the dog is not sitting behind me, I get a lot of PMs.
Yeah,
after
Because
the
we're
dog
pissed.
goes.
Where
I
the fuck
PM'd
is
you
she
too.
Where's
at?
the dog?
It's like Blaze,
That's
nice to
fine.
see you, but where's your dog,
The
man?
whole point of
During
this
the
is,
week,
you know what?
on
I
all our
wouldn't put it
back
past
channels,
Bunny to
we
have a
get
pair of
Blaze.
white socks hanging off the fucking bed.
No, the best part is Blaze.
I don't
is
own white
always,
socks, by the way.
raging about his dog. He's like, my dog ate the door.
All right. Now I do have a
He
question
keeps us a photo of
because
his dog
all we do
destroying
is
his
refer
house.
to it as refer to her as the dog. What is her
Nyla.
name?
Nyla.
So yeah, her name's Nyla, but I call
Nyla?
her Floofy
Okay.
unless she's in trouble.
Nyla with a Y?
NYLA.
It's a
Did you
good
name
name.
her?
I remember that.
No, I
name.
did
Basic
not.
Nyla.
She was a rescue, actually. I got her from the Humane Society.
Oh wow.
Good for you. Good for
That's
you.
Oh,
impressive.
my
They
God.
don't
Whenever
just
I got
keep,
her,
like,
she had
huskies
bad
and stuff
joints
there.
and was overweight, and now she's at.
solid
I want
weight.
to say she's a touch under 50 pounds, which is
She
about
looks
where
great.
she's a little bit.
Fit.
She's a little
God
bit,
bless.
yes. Like she's floofy, like super floofy, but I mean she's she's at weight.
How old is she?
A little bit. I think she's almost 7 now.
She's a little too
wow.
smoky in the eye, but like, you know,
super
that's
cute.
the
She's got
modern
husky
Yeah.
eyes.
She looks.
Unfortunately-
She looks
Fuck you
kind of
up there.
annoyed right
Yeah.
now.
Does she have like the
Yeah.
blue?
She looks.
and
She
the green?
looks like.
Yeah,
Oh my
so she
god,
has-
he's doing
yeah,
his
she has the
fucking show
heterochromia,
again.
which
Damn it.
unfortunately to get
She
that
got called a
um,
cat manic. I'd be annoyed too.
Yeah, I have my headphones on, so I don't think she heard it, but like I think she'd be a little bit annoyed.
Yeah.
So she has the heterochromia, which means
How
they
do you
had it.
think evolution happens where it's like weight inside the ear?
It's evolution is
It's
literally
like, why?
random. That's how it happens.
It's just.
But like, why though? It's like how did that happen? Where
There's-
it's like the
there
weight
might not
inside
be
the
a
ear
reason.
happens.
Hey,
But-
they're talking about taking the high angle weapons off Titans. How do you feel about that?
No,
They-
we're
they
talking
already
about a
did.
dog.
Fucking
Come
time.
on.
They
Reminder,
nerfed-
Oh, sorry.
they nerfed
a
the
I've
year
been
ago-
asking that for 3
Are
goddamn
they
years.
talking
Yeah, a
about
year
it,
ago
or
we
did
asked
somebody
for it, and they
read
finally
it
fucking
somewhere?
did it. Thanks, CCP.
So it's on
listen
Sissy
to
now.
It's on
feedback.
Hoboleaks.
Yeah,
on
it's
Sissy.
on
Oh,
Terry,
yeah.
your Moloch
So
is
it's on the
fine.
It
You
was
can
on
still track
Tranquility.
better than anybody else.
wanna
and
know-
got
So
the
they're
my
web and
not
favorite
shit.
part
talking
about it?
it.
No, it's
They
it's
did
gonna
it.
happen. Yeah, it's
They
on
already
It's
Sissy.
did it.
done. It's already done.
Good.
It's in the game.
Good.
So,
It's in
so
game,
Good.
dude.
Oh, it's in game too.
Yeah,
It's already in the
there's
game.
a
Look.
lot. They have
You know
meat.
my
But have
favorite
they
part
I
about
had to
explained
clean all my
anything
shit
about
off today.
Now I
Did
don't
they
have to
talk
do
about
stuff.
it?
Didn't they
Now I
already
don't have
nerf
to
the
take
Haws on
We don't
fucking-
need
Titans?
to
Was
talk
that not
about
enough?
it. We talked about this a year ago when we read the CSM Summit meetings. We're like, wow, all of CSM said to remove Haas from Titans. You know what?
And we
CSM
said it
did?
last year,
They
too.
didn't
And it
only
fucking
took
do
a
it.
year.
Okay.
So
All right.
so
We talked
Valve
about
We said it
operates
last
on
year,
Valve
too.
time, and we have CCP clock,
Right,
which
right.
means that anything that CCP talks about will eventually come within the next 3 to 5
Well,
years.
didn't they nerf the Haw Titan?
Correct.
The Haw Titans were like
They
50%. So
nerfed it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I got banned.
right was well, yeah, I know, but
Oh, yeah,
was
that
that
was
not
the law.
enough that they just had to completely remove them now?
So-
You guys
Look,
remember
the
when
bot-
Brisk
that-
got
that was
Here's
banned?
the problem.
I don't
That
fly
was
Titans.
I
a
wanna talk about
that was
though,
an
because
that
this
was
is
an
my
interim
biggest
step.
issue.
It was an interim step. But the bottom line was we told these guys, and it was in the minutes last year, get rid of them. Make Dreads the only Haw platform that gives them a special purpose, and it stops all these guys bitching about, Titans being super powerful on in subcap fights. But the bottom line is, to be bluntly honest, as much as I was in favor of this, the reality is Titans on subcaps is not as big a deal as Supers on subcaps. It's never been as big a deal. The fact is the Titans, you're fine trying to kill something, but they're going to run away because they're scared of you. They see a Titan on grid, they're going to run off anyway. But the Supers are what will fuck you up, and that's really where the action is. So they're not done fixing this shit.
Supers and carriers, honestly.
Right.
So-
So I mean that's it. They need to
I
fix
wanna-
that more than anything. That's
every
the
time,
big deal.
every time somebody brings up the Haw nerf, my biggest so they didn't fix. The only thing they changed with the Haw nerf is they nerf damage, right? So here's the problem with that. Anybody who fields Haw Titans in a combat perspective, not just some random nerd in Delve or Malpace or Kaval.
It's going to be 30 of them, right?
What, you
It's-
thi- you think
it's-
some
they're
random nerd
infinitely
can't come up
scaling
with
about
something
it.
smart?
No, I'm saying that if they,
Yes.
I'm not talking about one guy dropping his Haw Titan by himself. I'm talking about if you use them in mass to try to win a fight, damage is infinitely like if you nerf damage, you just offset that by add more Titans, and then then you have no nerf. If they really wanted to fix it, Pando brought up a good point in his Discord that the biggest issue with them removing Haws off Titans is now that it's another reason Titans aren't in space anymore. Which
That's
is true.
the thing. Now
Which
I
is-
was thinking, I had an idea that I think you guys
Did
will
you?
hate,
Because somebody
but I'm
else
gonna bring it
also
up
had an
anyway.
idea this week.
I was thinking, what if there was a type of ratting anomaly that was optimized for Titans?
I don't.
Get them in space.
Why are Titans ratting?
Why not?
I just don't like
Yeah, I
the
mean, why
idea.
not?
Fucking boomers out here.
Why aren't shuttles ratting?
I want something to get them in
Why
space.
not?
Here's the bottom line. the Hawk Titan nerf and everything else, there is no reason to drop Titans very often anymore. There's really nothing
there
unless
not?
you are in a Titan versus Titan fight where you need the DD volley to kill something.
Or
Why would you
ganking.
drop them? There's no point. Even ganking. Why
Isn't that
would you
what
drop?
they're there
Why would you try to bosun something when you can drop a bunch of?
Well, I don't mean bosun, I
super
like
cards
Quadrants.
anyway.
I'm gonna let you know, long range guns are still very overpowered. And if
Yeah.
you don't think that,
They are, but that's. I mean, come on. It's still
long range guns in mass are
Pure
very
saying like dreads are
overpowered.
useless still. I don't know if that's true. I think dreads. I've been seeing more.
Dreads are not
used.
useless. I think
I've been
dreads
seeing
are
more
useless.
dreads used lately than
Dreads
I've seen
actually
for
have a
long time.
purpose.
What do
They
you
have
mean?
a purpose.
What do you mean, Drayden? We use hot
Lean
dreads
in, Jeremy.
religiously.
No,
in
that's
US
what I'm
time.
saying.
Hot dreads are great.
I'm saying like someone in chat said that dreads are useless still. I'm
Alright,
like,
alright.
I don't think so. I've seen more dreads used
No,
in the last
I mean,
like
the
5
bottom-
or 6
the problem
months
is
than I've seen them
they're-
used in the last 2 years. So
They
they're
have
not
they have
useless,
taken
they're good.
away any real role for Titans now. There just aren't. There's
Yeah.
no situation where you're going to say, all right, Titans is the optimal platform to use in this situation. There's just not. So
Except for
that's
shooting
why I'm
keep
thinking they
stars.
gotta. Well, even for,
I don't
like,
like
you
UALS.
keep start with a
So-
Titan if you don't need to. I mean, you can do it with subcaps now.
No,
So I
you
mean, as far
cannot.
as I'm concerned, it's like, hey,
And any
just-
competent keep star gunner can make it very, very not worth shooting a keep star in subcaps.
well, actually, that's true. Now that they nerfed the Bruce Raven stuff, then it's a lot harder.
You can do it in carriers. Like I get your point. I very much agree.
There's just
I wish my
No
biggest
use for them anymore.
whenever I was running for CSM and whenever I always had to argue with people in talk-in stations and other similar discords where where line members brush shoulders with people who know things about things, is you need to give every ship class an established role, especially in the capital class. Dreads and carriers have it, super carriers kind of have it, and then Titans don't. Titans are okay at both anti-sub and anti-cap. Now they're not good at either, right? Because you
Right.
need 3 Titans
they're
to
bridge
kill
boats.
3 to 4. Yeah, basically 3 to 4 Titans to kill a
Right.
Oh, okay.
Dirk's
Dirk's
mad.
mad.
He looked
Yeah.
really
Dirk's
upset for a
pissed,
second there.
I missed it. I just saw
He's gonna
arm.
go kick some ass.
I just saw arm wave.
Rage.
He it takes 3 to 4 Titans to kill the tankier dreads, so Phoenixes and Revelations, and then at least 3 to kill Moroses and Aglifars. I always said that you need to make Titans your super capital version of the anti-cap. So like make Doomsday damage more and increase capital gun damage. Fuck the tracking, so you can't track subs, but give them a role.
Titans are
Because
meant
now
to
there's
be-
no role.
Right.
They suck at everything.
Titans-
That's the thing,
Phenomenon
and that's
sucks.
why,
You're
and
not
that's
gonna
why,
use command boosts on Titans. Literally, the only thing they're good at is
Right.
soaking up damage and looking
and being a
pretty.
jump bridge. That's
Right.
it. I mean, that's the
Ti-
thing. Like, what
Titans should be
frustrates
cat
me
killers.
is
Titans should be the
that
things that you
there
use to
is-
kill carriers and dreads.
there is no reason
Maybe
to
Super
put them in space now, and that means none of them are going to die, which means they're just going to sit around. And frankly, this is a platform that people skill specific characters into, so CCP is losing money by not having a specific role for these Titans, because they're not going to sub their Titan pilots unless they have to.
Do we
and they
give a
don't
shit?
have to.
I mean,
Risk,
I
are
think
you
why
that's
using
bother?
more
Titan
Don't
as
well,
a
maybe-
person?
problem.
Maybe in this
Don't
era of
sub your shit.
starvation, we'll just reprocess the Titans and use the minerals to build something else.
Also,
No,
Battle
that's
Buddy
more of a
2020
problem
Did
with
you mean
the
reprocess?
game,
But it's still-
not-
But it's still
Titans
it's still
uses.
one of those ships that's like an aspirational type ship. But you know what's frustrating? It's like it's aspirational,
Fuck that.
but now what the fuck are you
Everything
going to do
bigger
with it?
is aspirational.
It is, but there's it is. Everybody says when they
for it.
the first time they see a Titan in space, they're like, I want to fly one of those fucking things, and then you get one, and then you're like,
then you
what the
get
fuck
one
am I
and you
going to do?
change
I don't
your
know about
mind.
you. I still
Yeah,
love my
exactly.
Airbus a
And then I
lot.
get
Like,
one
it's
and
I
I'm
my-
like,
I love
it's
my
my favorite-
Avatar. I love my Rag. I'm not.
It's my
I'm not going
favorite
to get
ship
rid
I
of
own,
them.
but like,
But damn,
I'll
it would be.
Kiki.
I was joking with Darkshines
Do
today
you
because we had
love
our
me?
move up. We were moving our shit out.
Why were you joking
on
with
deploying.
Darkshines? He's got like 19 Titans.
Well, that's the thing. We were talking, and I was
he
laughing, and
really?
I said, "This sucks. I wish I had dropped my Avatar more often because I've only got like 5 kill marks on it, and I'm
Does
never
not
going to get
evolve.
another
I
one."
thought
last
you
I
had a
heard.
Ragnarok.
I have a Brisk has a Rag, but my main Titan that I've had
Oh,
for a
okay,
long
okay.
time is an Avatar. That's the one that hasn't
Is that
died.
another guy? Is that the guy sitting next to you?
That's Wilsk. That's my
Because
other
you're like
guy.
fucking pointing
I'm,
over there.
I'm
like,
pointing at the other screen.
that other motherfucker.
I'm pointing at my third screen that my Titan pilot comes up on. That's
on
what
my
I'm
screen,
pointing at.
Brisk, no one.
This is Brisk. This
it shows
is
you're too
Wilsk.
fucking deep into this.
You're
Brisk,
solo on
okay?
the
When
bot
You're
lane.
pointing to this other guy sitting next to you.
But anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
I'm never going to get rid of them, but I don't have a use for them now, and it sucks. They're just like giant suitcases.
if you only
That's
look at it from a
Hold on.
strategic point
and
of
at
view,
one time they
yeah.
were. And it was like it's
I know.
literally been a
But, I mean,
fucking
unless
up and
you're
down cycle
deployed.
of
That's the
Titans
thing.
this
We're in
game.
the
Unless
down
your
cycle,
alliance is-
so I'm trying to
unless
come up
your
with
alliance
creative
is
ways to
deployed.
get them out in
We're not.
space
And
so
by
that
the way,
people
and by the
use
way, I'm
them.
also going to
Oh.
put this off out into the fucking stock markets of the world. We're not in the down cycle. You know where we are? in the tip of the down. Okay,
Ooh.
that being
Oh,
said,
Jesus.
Just the tip.
It's hot.
and maybe
You're kinda
and
quiet,
maybe
DJ,
when it
by the
comes
way.
to and maybe when it comes to these super fucking beasts out there, we're only in the fucking tip of the down cycle. Maybe there's more to fucking come, and y'all gonna have to fucking consider that.
That
Which
is a
why
good
I
point.
also
There's
wanna
more to
roll
come
with
in
just the
one of
tip.
the
God
other
damn
great,
it, Nick. I was like,
one of
Well,
the other
no, he
great
raises it-
thinkers
got
of the
it before I
week.
did.
One of the
There you
other
go.
great thinkers of the
Low
week,
hanging fruit.
Manfred Sidious,
Always
Who
go
sat
for
there
the
and
low
said-
hanging fruit.
Oh yeah.
Gotta
who
grab
I
it.
didn't- I didn't
who
read that.
sat there and like
I've got such low
hung an
hanging
old
fruit.
trope
grab
on
it by
a
the low-hanging
fucking
fruit.
tree.
Just
Did
grab
you
it
did
by
you
the
honestly
low-hanging
say that
fruit.
Manny was a great thinker?
Just let me get through my fucking moment.
All right.
And
Go
hung
ahead,
a
go ahead.
fucking
All right.
trope on a tree.
We
I'm gonna go
get
take a
some,
piss
like,
while you do your
Just
monologue.
like his
Deep
capital
music or something?
harpoon and shit like that. Okay,
Oh
from back in the
yeah.
day.
I forgot
But
about
what
that.
about
Sorry,
NC
you people
shot
who don't
glasses?
Remember, okay,
Stop it.
the Super Predator.
NC shot glasses.
Fuck
Don't.
the Super Predator.
I didn't read that. Can somebody TLDR
like it.
that post for me?
TLDR is the
Oh, yeah,
same
same.
TLDR that has always existed regarding whether or not you should nerf these things or just create the next big thing.
Let's
TLDR.
create the next
Because
thing. Game
apparently,
So
because
is that
apparently
post.
number one, the first
Too
thing you
long,
want
don't
to
give
protect,
a shit.
the first thing you want to protect are veterans who have something to build towards.
So, I was gonna say something. I already forgot.
That's
What
unlucky.
were you what were you ranting about? It was the man. Oh yeah. So you said this is only the tip. It's only getting worse, and you're right because following the Haws being gone, they've already heavily hinted the fact that EHP is going to get nerfed too. So who knows what that means? Does that mean they fix shield supers so it matches Nirvana's now, or does that mean they just lower EHP on supers capitals altogether?
Well,
We don't know.
we don't know, but we can also take the idea of, kind of where Brisk comes from on things. Let's not nerf things
Never
like
nerfers?
Titans and Supers. Why
Bob
don't we,
starts to say
why
that a
don't we
lot.
create and or buff on the other side of things this new thing, which is kind of the Manny idea of, but what if we created a next level Super Predator, which number one gives
Titan
the veteran
Titans.
class something
Titan
to fucking
Titans.
like
Super Titans.
build
T2
into and whatever.
Titans.
That is not just
Super
you know,
duper carriers.
super duper carriers.
That's so tough.
Elliptic
Big
energy.
energy.
What they are Titans, or like wherever the hell it is, right? Like the next thing. So that what? So that 3 years
Just
from
keep
now,
making
or
shit
5
bigger.
years from now, or 8 years from now, what? We're arguing about the fact that nobody wants to buy destroyers for cash.
Don't bother with balancing things. Just keep making bigger things.
I think
Bigger, stupider things. Perfect.
remember we were tossing about Lelob is starting to be more and more active in discords that I sit in, which I'm excited
Mobile
about.
keep
I've seen
stars.
So we were
Why
talking
not
about
just fly a fucking Keepstar around, Manny, with a
Huge
space
shit.
harpoon on
Do you
it?
guys
Huge
know
shit.
if you have a
Imagine
pirate
in a
on your
pitch-
watch list
Think of how
and
mad
he's
people are
manning a
now, right? Every
Keepstar?
time a super blob jumps into a fight. Now imagine a Keepstar jumps in the middle of your subcat plate. I'd be so
You
fucking
Sino in
mad.
your
You have
Keepstar.
no idea. I would be livid. Like the
Yeah,
Palatine Keepstar jumps in and fucks your fight up. Like this is the worst
Holy
game ever. I
shit.
fucking
Manny's
quit.
not ridiculously
do
wrong.
you guys
just
know
like
if you
Brisk
have
a
is
pilot
just
on
like
your
fucking
watch list
demand
jumping
side
in?
versus supply
Do you
side
have them
thing.
on your watch list and they man a Keepstar or a Citadel? The icon shows up as I'm sitting in it.
Oh,
it's
so it has
Oh,
already-
really?
Keepstars.
And so
Yeah.
so like we had a guy manning the Forza. I'm like, "Are you sitting in the Forza?" He's like, "Yeah," and I could see it on my watch list. So I was like, "Oh." So it's already halfway there. CCP just has to make a mobile and shit.
No, don't make them able to move. Just make them able to jump to beacons.
No.
Well, not that
I
one.
want-
Make
I want-
make a Citadel
keep
beacon that
warpable
only
keep stars.
Oh, there's
I
a
hate
use for
this a
Titans
lot.
right there. There's a use for Titans.
Imagine
Make
the
only
align time
Titans-
for a keep
Only
star.
Titans
I
able
hate
to
this
light
a lot, Vanek, I
a
do.
Citadel.
Because I'm getting
Sino.
terror flashbacks to whenever I used to play
You're
Sins
getting,
of a Solar
getting
Empire. a lot.
anxiety just thinking about it.
Well, in Sins of a Solar Empire, the Vasari battle station moves and it chases you around the gravity well.
Dude,
And I hate that a lot.
Jay Amazing says you could fleet warp Keepstars on CC when they first Imagine you're like, guys, I probe them down and you warp, and then just like a Keepstar shows up.
I'd
on
be pissed.
fucking top of
Now
you.
imagine the bug
That's
where they're
fucking
fucking
awesome.
Now, would
they
everyone-
warp at interceptor speed and it just like pops out of existence right on
Would
top of you.
everyone docked in the Keepstar come with it? Because then
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's next level. Like
That's
why-
a new way to move
You don't
fleets
even have
around.
any- that's the thing,
Man,
you don't
you're not
have
allowed
to
to say any of
bridge.
this shit because the last dumb idea you said out loud as a joke became a fucking.
I know. Now
Yeah,
it's gonna
it's
happen.
mechanics,
It's
so
gonna
stop.
happen.
No, you don't even have to
Fucking
like
quit it.
You don't even have to bridge through Titans anymore. You just bridge a keep star in and then fleet undock and free fire. Just
CCP,
well, no
hire
free fire,
me.
but-
If you think about it, Keepstars would be inherently bubble immune since you can PDS bubbles
just
off.
think of the dumbest thing that can happen. What's
This
the
show?
dumbest thing that CCP could possibly
What if-
do?
What if you were flying a
I don't know.
battleship and when you
Every
died,
fucking ship in
it
the
had a
game had the
frigate?
next class under them being an
What if you
escape
could-
capsule.
what
The
if you
Russian
could just
Nessie
fly a
But
bubble.
also had
I
other
hate
escape capsules
Ships
built
within
into
ships
that.
within
great.
ships
Russian
within
fucking
Because that
ships.
doll
sounds
game.
just as ridiculous as what we were just talking about, and I hate that a lot.
Yeah, okay, so Okarov was like, yeah,
Imagine-
Okarov was
Imagine
like,
you're
drop
flying
one
a battleship,
DQ
it
into a
blows
fight.
up, and then suddenly, poof, frigate.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
oh,
I missed that
God,
last
that
week.
sounds so
You guys did cover
stupid.
that last week, right? The
Yo,
whole
dog,
fucking-
we
the
heard you
whole-
like
the
kill
whole
mail,
fucking
so we put a
nonsense.
kill mail in your
yeah,
kill
we
mail.
talked about it.
thing.
which is completely funny in kind of the abstract, kind of like isolated.
It's
sort of
funny
thing
in a
that they're,
meme
like
kinda
rolling it
way.
out. But then like when you
meme
talk about
kind of way?
when you go back and
Meme.
you talk about like what
Meme.
Mannix,
Dank
talking
memes.
about earlier with kind of
You
the
should make a GIF
testing
about
that
it.
they do out there to see if this
I'll make
works.
some peanut butter.
And then you sit there and go,
That's
and
hot.
if this works,
I
they'll
want a chip
just
sandwich.
fucking expand it.
No, but okay, so being able to jump keep stars, not only is there combat potential, someone was saying jump
Wait,
the
we
one.
have
Not
any
talking
actual
about this.
topics?
All
No,
it
no,
takes is
no, we are no.
one
Just,
Yeah.
just
Are we
energy.
just-
see this.
We're
I get
we're
all
just
of it.
diving
fucking
deep
fun.
into
No,
theorizing.
I know.
So, all right,
Just-
so
Hold
I
on,
went to
hold
take
on,
a
I
piss,
loved
and you
it.
guys just went off the fucking
Yeah,
rails.
I know,
is
but
what
hold
it
on.
sounds
That
like.
was
Please,
a
please
long
entertain
We
piss.
did not go off the
That was
Well,
a
I was
really
doing more
long
than
piss.
just pissing.
Please
we are
just.
still-
I had to reset my clocks because the cats turned.
Oh,
We are
dude, you
still-
should have just left it at
still
that, and we would have all
basically-
assumed things.
I
But
was pissed. I'm
No.
like looking at the clock, and it's like 0011. I'm like,
entertain
what the
my
fuck
spec-
time is it?
just
And it's
entertain my
We are
speculation.
still
So,
basically on the fucking.
Okay, Drayden, go.
yes, I'm saying like, so
Drayden, go.
someone's talking about
Oh,
jumping
here
one
we
DQ.
go.
We're still going to the keep star thing because I don't want to get off that till I like.
Why? Why? That is
God
so
damn it,
Dirk, shut up.
pure and
Dirk,
out-
shut
Jump-
up.
jump into
Let
the one
Drayden do
DQ.
Let's
his
get
thing.
off of mothers. I
You
got
can
to
have
back.
mobile Jitas. So you have the 1DQ keep star. You can have it as like a mobile. It's like the Jawa fucking crawlers that you could just jump around and sell shit. Like
Maybe.
like
Jump
Freeport,
around.
Maybe
Freeport it and
get
jump
out
it
your
around.
seat.
That is
Jump
the
around.
stupidest shit I've
Jump
ever
Oh,
heard.
it'd be great.
Jump
and also
up,
people
jump
would
up,
catch
and
rides
get
like I'm gonna
down.
dock them and buy shit and wait till see where it goes.
That's the dumbest shit I've
Dude,
ever heard.
no, yes, I want that to happen. Anyway, I'm done.
Maybe
Okay, now I'm done
maybe
with my dumb
that's
shit.
what the JITA renovations are. They're converting it into a mobile station.
Yeah.
The gankers would not like that.
That's
Yeah, no,
that's
okay.
what's
So I'm done with
happening,
I'm
you
done with
guys.
my dumb ideas. Let's go back to real shit. So.
Where's my tinfoil?
Hey, the Yida fleet filaments.
I
are
still
back.
wanted. I still
Needle
want my
fleet?
fucking.
Oh yeah, needle jacks.
Yeah,
macro
Needle
jump
jacks
drives.
elements.
Needle jacks. That's good.
Needle jacks. Why do
Yeah,
they call it that?
the-
Yeet.
I don't know.
Because
They
they're
can't
not
call-
going
they
to call
can't
them.
actually
call
They're
them
not going to
yeets.
call
I
them
don't know.
yeet filaments.
Next year,
Because
when
they should be.
Yeez
Yida
start
fleet-
Wouldn't that be a
27
Look, I'm
fucking
telling you
argument?
guys,
It has
look.
to be lore.
Here is what I would like to say
It
for
could
the
be-
record.
give me
It's
a
got to
fucking
be.
years.
It's got to
It's
be
got
grim
nothing
dark.
into it.
It's got to be
Whoa.
grim dark.
For all of you CCP people watching right now, and I know there are some of you, I would just like to say for the
Do they
record,
watch this show?
CCP Rise
Some of
is
them watch this
amazing, and everything he does is great. And keep letting him
Gonna
come
suck
up with
his
random
dick,
shit.
Briz?
Like I will
He's
totally
going
do
to cuddle
that
with him
because
he's going to
so fucking good.
non-platonically.
I
cuddle
would
with
totally
him.
not platonically cuddle with him.
You know what?
Because
Right
everything
now-
good that comes out in this game is from fucking him. And these filaments, thank
Right
you.
now, while you're sucking the dick that you're sucking, I will also suck some dick. This Sunday,
Do it,
on
Dirk.
Talking in
Suck some
Stations-
dick.
Suck, just guard
Suck,
it.
This Sunday,
suck,
on
suck
Talking in
dick.
Stations,
Suck
is
some
got
Here we go.
fucking devs.
Suck some dick.
Dirk's totally going to shill for
Hold on,
Matterhall
hold
now.
on. They got a couple fucking devs. They got one guy, I forget his name, but they do have CCP Rattati.
Rattati and
Who
Muppet
is
Hunter.
apparently, and who?
Muppet Hunter.
Muppet
He's the
Hunter.
lead
I'm sorry.
designer.
But Rattati is the one who
The
is now
ecosystem
apparently involved with, like, he's the lead
Economy.
ecology
It's
manager.
Economy.
Ecology.
No.
Economy.
Ecology.
I understand a bunch of letters in there all kind of work the same way.
Economy.
Ecology.
Okay, show me a
It's
screenshot or it's economy.
It's
Go out to-
ecology.
go out to
God
his
damn
fucking
it.
Twitter. Go out to his fucking
All right,
Twitter.
I'm on it right
What
now.
are we talking about?
Okay,
Right
and it
now.
literally
Ecolonials.
says
It says
right on the
economy.
fucking top of it.
It says economy.
Anyways,
It says ecology, Rain.
ecology.
Prove it,
It has
link
to
it.
do with.
Then
the
pull it,
balance.
you're pulling- you
has
said
to
you're
do with
pulling
the
it up, pull it
economy.
up.
Rain.
Here it says
Rain.
economy.
It says lead producer Eve Ecosystem.
Ecography.
Ecosystem.
Ecosystem.
ecosystem. Okay, ecosystem.
I said
includes a bunch of
ecosystem,
things
then we said
underneath it,
ecology.
You
okay?
said ecology, you slut.
You said economy, you bitch.
He is the economy
No,
guy.
it's not.
No, he's not.
Ecology
Ecosystem
encompasses
is not.
more
We
things
all had the
than
wrong
just
eco
ecology.
word.
All right,
Because
one at a time.
She
One at a
is
time.
right. She is right. He's not the ecology manager.
Thank you,
She is
Ned.
right.
Ecology is the study of
He's
ecosystems,
it's not
as
just about, it's
Loki
not just
said.
about the economy. He is apparently the fucking lead guy on Balance. He is apparently
No,
the
he's
lead
not a lead
the
guy on
economy.
Balance. What the
Yes,
fuck are you talking about?
because
Balance-
right now, if I have to go
Balance
out there and say what he
falls
said
under
over in
ecology.
the fucking other Discord,
Like the
okay, I will do
ecology
that.
encompasses everything. It sounds like.
I will
He
say
has
this.
got a whole bunch of shit. Hold on, and this is why it fucking matters, and it also matters
Okay.
whether or not they're going to ask the question of him to find out how much he motherfucking matters.
Of course, you know they're not going to do that.
Then hold them to that. But here's where the questions happen, because it's not going to happen on this fucking show. It's not going to happen on some other fucking show.
Sure.
You know what? Fuck this noise. Matterall, do you hear me? I'm fucking coming on.
You gotta
Sunday
you gotta
and I'm
say his
asking
name
the
3
fucking
times while
question.
standing in front of a mirror.
Dirk,
Dirk,
the show's already been
While
taped. It's not
painting all
live.
your ammo
Matterall.
gold.
I know.
Matterall.
It was actually a
Matterall.
tape show, so like who the
Richie.
fuck knows what they're gonna ask, and therefore blame them for that, right? Blame them for that, for not asking the difficult fucking questions. Okay. That being said, it is coming up this Sunday. We'll be able to hear something.
Are
I
you
guess.
shilling for fucking?
No. Well, hold on.
Come
I'm not
on,
actually
Dirk.
Shilling
shilling.
for
Who
talking
do
stations.
you work for? Okay.
I'm actually
Open
reverse
Talk
shilling
or
it. I'm
Talking
actually
Station?
I'm actually reverse shilling in a way here, and telling everybody listen to this, and then hold the parties responsible.
That's shilling for a different show.
No, it is not.
Our numbers
Believe
are
me.
going down.
It is right on.
Yeah,
the
this is
edge
bullshit.
of
Why are you
every
killing all our
fucking
numbers, Dirk, by
blowtorch.
telling people to watch another
Numbers are
channel?
Going down, dude.
It is right on the edge of telling people to
The
light a
analytics
fucking
are falling.
blowtorch.
All right, so I'm looking at our links of show notes. I don't think we've gotten through anything.
I haven't even
We've-
looked at
yeah,
show
we've
notes.
got
Literally
through
got
I
a whole
just-
bunch of it.
I'll be
I was
what you're
excited to
talking
tell
about.
everybody about the North, and then we started talking about Warpable Keepstars, and I think a lot of my brain cells died after that.
I've
Yeah,
been trying to
my
hold
brain is
back
kinda-
on,
I'm still wishing I was
broker
pissing
relations
instead of hearing
because,
that.
like, honestly, I understand that.
I
Like,
wish you were pissing too.
Do you want me to tell you guys about a community thing that's coming up?
No.
Yeah, you know
All
what,
right,
Rain?
so
Fuck it.
Jump into the heavy stuff.
We didn't finish
So-
with the Unit
Oh,
Fleet
God.
filaments.
So Yeetus
Oh.
Fleet filaments are already out, so you can get them from data scanning as well as events. Also, speaking of events, Twitch versus Eve is on March 21st at 2000. You can show
yeah.
up and shoot your streamers and win prizes.
And now you don't have an excuse not to show up because FanFest isn't after that.
Correct.
Rip.
Get the better picture of me, by the way, when you clip it out there.
I know you guys already talked about this, but I'm out the tune of I think $2,200 right now. That
Are
all
you
parties
serious?
What for
Yeah.
your
What?
airfare and like
between
you
hotel
can't
airfare,
fully
hotel,
cancel.
airfare
You
and
don't fully
hotel. Yeah,
cancel.
the only person I've gotten a
Don't
refund
pay for
from.
hotels up front.
Thanks.
How do you
Risk.
people not just pay?
You know
I
what'd be
should,
cool is
the
if
But-
next time you guys got to talk to me this shit ahead of
Talk
time
to
so I
your
can tell
bank.
you.
So wait like 3 more weeks, then talk
We
to
need
your
an
bank.
Eve travel agency.
So
Talk to
Somebody
your
that
bank. I
can
bet they'll
rep
help you.
the players.
I sent an
when bad
email
shit
to the Central Hotel. Oop, I didn't mean to name drop. The Central Hotel people. Oop, I did it again. And I'm like, hey, since
Are you
you're
having
cut-
problems with central hotels?
possibly, I'm like, hey,
Holy
can I
shit.
get a
I've
refund?
heard
And they're
Central
like,
hotels were having problems
No.
with players.
I've
this
heard
week.
central hotels are very difficult to work with.
So
they're
talk
like,
to-
no, you may not have
I'm
a
not
refund.
saying
I'm
that we
like,
should
that
all
Buddy,
sucks
have
a lot.
talk to your
Central
bank. Talk
hotels?
to your bank. 100% talk to your bank and just be like, wow, where did this $220 come from?
Yeah,
in
this
charges?
was not
Yeah.
Where did
authorized.
$200 come from? This wasn't me.
Be like,
And then,
I would
wow,
never
Magic,
go to
you have all your
Iceland.
money
Why
back.
would I do that?
Hold on. Before you lie to your credit card company,
Before you commit credit fraud,
Well,
Yeah,
hold
you're
on a
right.
second.
Stop fraud.
Because this is another way, and we're circling back a fucking round here. Okay, this is another way
sorry, I
for
didn't
you
mean to
to
bring this
check
up.
whether or not you've got some protection out there. Some credit card companies, a lot
Always
of credit
wear
card
protection,
companies actually
kids.
have trip
Kids.
cancellation kind of things that are involved with their thing. Check with them as well. Don't just go to the fucking
if you're
airline.
allergic
Don't
to
just
latex,
go to the
you can
hotel.
get sheepskin.
Go to your credit card company unless you're like a
Or
broke
Bunny,
ass
if
with a
you
nasty
actually can't
credit
get your
card.
cancellations, just show up because I'm pretty sure me and my friends are gonna show up. So if you want to go party,
So the other idea I had was to push my flights back a year, so when they might have the next Eve
You
Fan Fest.
just
Yeah.
redo your flights every 6 months, like every 2 months to the 2 months
Right.
later.
So if I push it back exactly 1 year, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I'll save money on my flights then, because I booked my shit kind of last minute. So, you know, who knows? I'm going to give it more time. Hopefully Iceland
knows,
just
man?
straight up closes their borders so I don't have to actually pay any of that. But
What if you caught a flight and it was a 737 Max next year?
oh, I hope it hits the ground.
I don't
really
think they're
hard
going to
so
be
I don't live
flying,
through it.
Dirk.
We just don't know, right? Like we don't know the future. None of us can tell the
We
future.
don't. We don't know the future.
But with
No,
That's
FanFest
not
going
true.
away-
Manic can tell the future. We know he does videos
Yeah.
that tell the
I
future.
apparently
true.
can predict
Yes.
the future.
Man,
Manic and the
video
Simpsons.
With
of
FanFest
Dirk
going
sucking
away,
my
it makes
dick.
me even more
Maybe
excited
he'll
for
shut
Eve
up.
New Orleans.
However,
So, all right. So,
we've
how
only
many of you
got
guys
29
think that
we've only got
FanFest is never
29
coming
minutes
back?
left of the show, okay? And
I wanna
because
know-
we have now
FanFest
come
is coming
partially
back. Calm
we have
down.
come partially circled back to like this, right?
Sorry, I was
What's
trying to
going
get
on
into
with
the video.
2018
Talking about it.
with FanFest
When they
being
said-
canceled?
When they
One of
said
the
that
things
there
we
was
have
no
to talk about
FanFest.
is the coronavirus and how that's affected inside
Shut up, Dirk.
games.
No,
not talking
we've
about
already
that anymore.
talked about coronavirus.
So I'm serious. Everybody said in 2018, "Oh my God, they're canceling FanFest in 2019. They're never going to do FanFest again." And then they cancel it again this year. That kind of added
No.
a little more, for like
That is
flames
indeed
to
a
that
tale.
fire there.
Okay.
Is this
That's some really
is
fucking
this,
tin
So what do you guys
Deep
think?
state
Are we
kinda
ever going to
shit,
have
motherfucker.
FanFest again?
I think we'll have FanFest again.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll
dude.
see. If the world doesn't end before
I'm
All
I
I'm
don't even
saying
care about
is
next FanFest. NOLA's
all
gonna
of
be
the
dope, though.
money that they don't have to spend on FanFest.
Eve New
Hopefully they
Orleans.
can get some of their
Eve New
money back
Orleans.
from all of this.
I forgot DJ was here.
Vegas. Eve Vegas.
DJ
New
gonna
Orleans.
do his classic ghost to the.
Fuck San Diego.
Yep.
Let's do
Hold on,
Vegas.
hold on,
again.
hold on.
I came out
I'll
for
do
one
Vegas
reason.
again. Now I
They've
have
I've been
already
to-
got
I've been
their
to
San
New Orleans
Diego
like three
plan.
You
times.
should do
Yeah.
Vegas anyway.
Every
Even
day.
if
They've already got
CCP
their
doesn't
San
do it,
Diego
come to
plan.
Eve Vegas.
Therefore, anything that they
We're already
have
doing
left
it.
to be
We've
able
already-
to throw
we're already
out
selling
there
tickets.
can be sprinkled around other events if they so choose. And honestly, if it comes down to the whole fucking coronavirus, kind of thing, it's like they've got to be careful about how they do that and like what they actually commit to and all that kind of shit. But like they've got things to be able to sprinkle
What
around
song
out
is
there
that, Dirk?
besides.
Can you tell the people upstairs
Eve
to
San
shut the fuck
Diego.
up?
What song
I
is
can't.
that?
I can't. Look, just because y'all motherfuckers ain't got another party going on in your house, don't talk to me.
Wait a minute.
How about you get a proper mic
is
that
is
blocks
McGurk
out
Jr.
background
home?
noise?
Why is she home?
Friday night.
Why is McGurk Jr. home?
Dirk, are you?
Because
showing up
sometimes
with
weekends
Eve New
are
Orleans?
lonely.
With
So
your-
Maybe
why
it's
my
why
God.
should CCP spend all this money and effort on running events themselves when
No.
the players can just do it?
Exactly. Hello.
No.
No, I'm
Because
making
for
a
weekends.
joke. I'm
Because
making
we
a
need their
joke,
money.
asshole. Oh my
I want their
god.
money. All right,
It's
so
called outsourcing.
I would. All right, I would also like to say I'm very excited that Mrs. LB is in the chat. I like it when we get the Mrs.
I really
on
love
the
that.
show. That's
We
great.
could literally
I
have
don't
an
get why my
entire
wife
show
We've
of
got
Mrs.
is up to support.
Mrs.
Oh,
Dirk
that's
and
horrifying.
Mrs. Brisk and
It's
Mrs.
really
LB.
disappointing
This
when
is
my
very
wife-
There needs to be an all-female
Right,
episode
okay.
of Open Comms.
Manic. Where is Mrs. Manic? Why can't we get Mrs. Manic? in the
She's
chat?
shy. She would never. She would
Oh,
never
that's
come
it.
on.
Now the thing is, my wife is shy too. It drives me crazy because I can't get her to come on the show. She'll wave at you guys, but that's about as close as she's going to get, which sucks. Because
I'm surprised
she'd
that
be-
Mrs.
I think she'd be great
Velocity
on the
came to Vegas in 2018.
She was
'cause
super helpful too. She was
She was.
volunteering
Yeah.
and being
I
friendly.
didn't see her. Fuck, missed it. That sucks.
She was handing out the wristbands for the Saturday night party.
Well, then I must have met her
Yeah.
then. So
yeah,
that's
I'm
annoying.
sure you met her. I would have
Oh,
introduced
fuck.
you.
I did. Run to
Drayden,
the
was that a bit? Was that a big
Okay,
turd?
man.
Where you go?
No,
Where did
no,
you
no,
go,
I-
Drayden?
I had
Did
to
you take a
run-
massive dump?
No, I
That
did.
sounds like
You
it.
sound
I mean,
exhausted.
Masai was
Whenever
kind
you
of a
say
massive
that,
dump
Manic,
site.
it makes me think of that chick from Big Mouths,
What?
No, I was.
the girl with the really mannish voice from. Big
I also
Mouths.
like
don't
to say
know.
that
I
I
have no
think
idea what you're talking
Drayden
about.
wearing a shirt
I'll
with
link
a
it.
moose on it.
Link
That's
it.
pretty.
No,
fucking
no, no.
awesome.
It's not a moose. It's a beer. It's a bear deer. So it's a beer.
It's a beer.
It's a bear.
Oh, I
It's-
get it.
yeah.
A beer.
Jesus
I
Christ!
get
it.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
This is the
Kids
shit
or
these people in
something? That's
fucking
a
Idaho
fucking
think
dad
is
Look
funny.
at LB's
Yeah.
cat. That's a cute
No,
cat.
I had to chase.
LB's
I had
cat.
to chase.
cute.
I was feeding the animals upstairs, and I let the dogs out, and we've had to close the dog door because the cat.
You
that's
sound
not
like you
supposed.
just ran a marathon.
Oh, I did. The cat that's not supposed to be outside figured out how to use the dog door recently, so now we gotta lock that. So we have to let the dogs
Just
out.
let the cat out. They'll be fine.
That's what I think because I've always had cats.
No,
that we
they're
just let
really
outside,
cats
but-
are really bad for the environment, and if you have your cat declawed, which by the way you shouldn't do, it's
No.
also very dangerous for them to be let out. So just don't let your
No,
cat
so
outside.
I was letting the dogs
I
out.
let my cat out
and
every
he
day.
goes
You just
zoom-
shut the
Manic!
fuck up,
You
Briz.
are a terrible cat.
No, so I'm
No,
letting the dogs out, and he goes
wants to
zooming
go
outside
out.
and
I
like
don't care.
jumps the fence into the neighbor's yard. So I had to run across and jump the neighbor's fence, and run across their yard and catch him before he jumped the next fence because that cat likes that's the last time he got out,
Is that
we
the other
found him
cat?
like
Look
2
how
blocks
cute he
away.
is.
Someone called because of his collar. Someone called. He was 2
Aw.
blocks away. So like that cat has never been outside, so he will go and get lost and never come home. So that's why he's not. So I had to go chase him.
let my cat out every night because he stands at the front door and cries his fucking ass off until I let him out, and he comes back every morning.
Cats
Every
are
morning
very-
when I'm leaving
cats
for
are
work,
terrible
he
for
is
the
sitting on the
environment.
front porch waiting
but
to
he
come
knows.
in.
This
Cats
is a
are
cat.
terrible for the
He
here's the thing.
knows. He's fine.
Here's the
No,
we
they're
would
not
let mine
terrible
cat
for the
out.
environment. Fuck
They
birds.
No, here's
Fuck
the thing.
all
No, they're
birds.
terrible
Who
for
gives a
the
shit about
environment.
birds? Fuck them.
If it was
Birds
my,
are terrible for the
Vital
environment.
killing
If-
fucking
Birds work for the
bugs.
bourgeoisie.
if it was my cat,
Birds are fake. They're all
Birds
government
are
spies.
fake.
We know this.
If it was my cat, I'd let it out. But it's not my cat. It's my roommate's cat, and so they don't want it outside. So I'm the one that's supposed to be watching them while they're gone tonight. So I was like, okay, he like slipped out the door under my feet, and I'm like, fuck. So I had to go chase him. That's why I'm out of breath. I had to hop
Alright,
the
but
neighbor's fence, but it's fine.
Bird law greater than maritime law.
Seriously.
No, it's not.
Seriously.
Although I am certified in Texas bird law and maritime.
Oh my
We got
god.
we got 23 minutes left. We've
Nothing
gotta
worse
circle-
for
we've
nature
gotta
than
circle back to
animals.
something.
You want to
Come
talk
on.
about the? You want to talk about
Animals
the
are so
drama?
bad
We've
for the
already-
We've
environment.
already talked about how freaking Sword Dragon is like, disbanding his shit up
We
there
already
and all that
talked
kind of
about
whatnot.
that, Dirk.
Okay.
That's what Blaze
There was
is
What
another
about the
alliance this week
what
that
about that
also
alliance
got
that got its
disbanded.
name changed? What about
Oh
that?
my god.
Oh,
Those are some of the
God.
biggest
Are we gonna
fucking
get into
crybabies
this?
I've ever
Are we
seen
gonna
on
get
Reddit.
into this?
About
Get
what?
the
Do
fuck
it.
out of
Why
here.
not?
I
It's
thought
like-
I
I
thought
want to
Eve
tell
was
you
I
what
thought
I
Eve
posted
was
on
full
the
of
show.
some of
Let's
the
do
most
it.
hardcore gamers on the planet, but
wanna
apparently
tell
not
you what
because
I-
they get their
Oh,
panties in a
you.
twist when they see an alliance named Corona.
I want to tell you what
I can
posted
tell
on
you,
Reddit
there
this
was a
week.
lot of Chinese
As
people
a
that were offended
Chinese
by that
player,
name.
I have few words to say.
I thought Eve players were hardcore, but I
I
guess
think
not.
it was the intent of the
Guys,
name
what do you
change as
mean?
opposed to the name
Why
itself.
can't
that
I
was-
make a name of something offensive and target people that my name is targeted to?
That dude
Look,
It's
admitted
not.
in
Why
his-
It's
can't
not
I
in
make
his
a
targeting.
call
It's
that
not
was a
targeting a
target
race.
cost
It's
and
not
target
targeting a
Here's what I would
protected
suggest.
class.
Why
Here's
can't
what I
make
would
a
suggest.
Name called Remember
I
the
would
Holocaust
suggest
It
and
wasn't the name
German?
itself.
that-
It was the
Why
intent
can't I
behind the
put
name. I think that made
1488
it
gas
bad because
in
the
my
intent
car?
I
of the
suggest
name
Why
that
is
was
all
everyone
of
such a
these-
snowflake?
I
Why do have
suggest
to
that all of
fight?
these edge lords should go fuck themselves. Because
I
at
agree
the end of the
with you.
day,
Harden
if you're going
the
to take
fuck
advantage of
up.
something that's happening in real life where people are dying to make a
Cough,
funny
tissue,
fucking
cough.
joke in the game, go fuck yourself.
And then
You're
target
useless.
the people
Do
affected
something
by
else.
it.
Come on.
Keyword targets the people
Yeah.
who are
The
affected
dude
by
admitted
said
in his
thing.
Reddit post whenever he was bitching about,
What a
oh god,
fucking
CCP
idiot.
fucking deleted my alliance name.
You know
He
the
admitted
only
that they
person
made
that
that
can
alliance
offend
Could
you
you-
is
could
yourself.
one of you?
You are the only
could one of
person
you
that
Look,
can
just
I don't
offend
for a
care.
you.
Here's the thing. I don't have a
Explain
problem with
what
them doing
happened,
that because
and
at the
then
end of the
you're-
day, if you're an asshole,
Ranty rant.
then I don't give a shit what happens to you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Guys,
the
but like,
TLDR
So if you're gonna be a
there's freedom
dickhead,
of
then be a
speech,
dickhead. I don't care.
which CCP is
No,
under no
they-
obligation to
They
abide
made.
to.
So
They can do
Who
whatever they
approves that?
want. It's their game.
It
They
wasn't
don't have
the-
to follow any. They don't have to follow any rules at all. They can say, "I don't like your alliance name. I'm changing it," and you
Right,
have
right.
no recourse.
So
these guys
I
all need to
accept
shut
that
up.
happened?
CCP has the right
What
to change
happened
any
since all
alliance
of
name
you
that they
launched-
want.
Since all of you launched your fucking sub nuts into your fucking like wannabe.
I don't even know what
answers,
you're talking about, Dirk.
Subnuts.
The
What the
TLDR
fuck
Subnuts?
happened?
The TLDR is some fucking edgelord garbage. Elite small gang alliance, to quote his stupid post on Reddit,
Okay.
named themselves
That nobody's
after
ever
something.
heard of.
Yeah,
Hold
exactly.
on. Named themselves what?
They named. I'm kidding to that.
They named themselves
I know,
coronavirus
yeah,
with the
trying to
tag
get
of
While-
Wuhan.
Yeah, they named
And that's
themselves
what they
after
did.
something-
No, that's not what they fucking named.
Yes, they
themselves.
did. Yes,
Yes,
they
they
did.
did.
Dirk, you
Yes,
stupid
they
fuck.
did.
What the
Yes,
fuck? What are you
they
fucking
did.
talking about?
Let the people
Their
who play the
ticker
game talk.
was.
Wuhan.
He
Wuhan.
said they
Ticker
named it
was
Their
Wuhan.
coronavirus
alliance
Wuhan.
name was.
Was coronavirus.
That's what he just said.
Yeah,
That's what I
he
just
said.
literally what I just
My bad.
said.
So Bunny just
Oh
said.
Jesus.
Yeah,
There's
and
too
they
many
made that
fucking
alliance
voices going at
because
once.
the-
Then shut up.
You only need to listen to me.
No.
You all only need to listen to me.
Like seriously, bitch, you want to fucking tell me to shut the fuck up?
Yes,
You don't
I
need to
do.
listen
Yes.
to the girl.
Because you know
Yes.
what? Because you know what? Like
We are
honestly,
talking about shit, and you're interrupting to talk about.
Oh,
the
we're
scenes that
talking
literally
about
talking
shit.
So shut the fuck up.
I brought
Bunny,
up the
continue.
fucking item.
LB, push the button.
Yes.
I just want to
Bunny
make sure it got
Shots.
fucking,
Shut
like,
up. Shut
Drink.
the fuck up.
Drink.
Shut
Everybody
the
take a
fuck
drink.
up.
Everybody
I don't
chill
know.
out and take a drink.
I wish I had something to
Continue.
shotgun this with. Can I do that on Twitch? Is that against terms of service?
No, you can. Just
I'm
make
gonna
No,
sure-
let y'all deal with it because I actually brought it up to like listen to your laughs.
My
Right.
my issue is they named themselves that because they're who they're attacking, right? It's
That,
like
and that's
so
the thing that's
equal
stupid.
to that is I'm gonna fight an alliance that's predominantly I don't know I'm gonna pick this because it's relevant. Say you have a Jewish alliance. I don't know if that's a thing. If it is, more power to you. But if I'm fighting you and I name myself the Second Holocaust and I get banned and bitch about it, literally I fucking deserved it.
Right.
Correct.
Also,
Correct.
Okay.
It's not
If-
necessarily
if
the
the
name.
intent-
It's just the name of the virus. It's the intent behind the name.
It's
the
the
doesn't
name
even-
look, guys,
was
guys,
different.
it doesn't
if the
even
name
matter-
Was the same.
It
If
doesn't.
the name was the same, but
doesn't-
the intent behind it was different, would you guys have a problem with it?
It doesn't
No, not at
even
all,
matter
really.
what the intent is.
But
The
that's the
bottom
point.
line is
I can name about
CCP
5
sees
different
this and
alliances
says,
that have offensive
that's
names
not
but aren't
cool.
offensive.
Stop being dicks. And they
Right.
changed the name.
Right, so
and I'm
that-
perfectly fine with that. And I wish this guy would stop
Here's
going
the
on
thing.
Reddit every
Here's the thing.
day
I
and
wanna
crying like a fucking
answer
baby.
Anna's question.
It's
Because
possible.
that's all
it's
he did it
possible
for.
to be offended by anything.
It doesn't matter. I'm
Anything
not
can
offended
be
by it.
offensive.
Whether
I
it's
just think they're an
possible
asshole.
to be
No, you're
offended by
being malicious.
anything.
It's about the
All
intent.
right,
It is
so-
possible
so-
to be offended by anything.
Regardless
Yes,
of
it
what
is
the intent
possible
is.
to be offended
You-
by anything.
you
That-
offend
that
yourself.
doesn't
If you
justify
do something
the
stupid-
reasons for
When you're
doing it.
offended, when
There
you're
are
offended by
alliances in
something,
games.
that's not something
There
somebody
are
did
alliances,
to you.
there are corps in games, right? So you have Black Rise Matters. You know what they do? They live in Black Rise as a like Caldari faction warfare group. You
And
have
it's a
I whip my
pun. Their
you
name is a
have I whip
pun.
my slaves.
Right,
It is a
that's
pun
funny.
based on
You know
what?
what they are? Stop. You know what they
Whoops.
are? They're an Amar faction warfare group because Amar is known for having slaves. You have Just Let It Happen. You know what they do? They just play out as a normal alliance. They don't target any specific group. They don't target any specific person, individual, alliance, section of the game. You have tons of groups
So
like
you're
that.
not going to
You
look
have-
Matter all
you're
hated,
not
still
gonna-
yourself.
You're not going to look at the real world
Confederation of
edginess
Pizza,
of
which has
it
the
and what they're
Confederate
trying to get
flag
past.
as
Listen.
their logo. They don't do anything but play the fucking
So-
game. You have
so
to kill
if
yourself,
you-
which makes
the
a
bottom
joke
line
of
is-
a very terrible phrase, but they make it as an in-game joke. They don't target anyone, and they also don't make
It's the
fucking
timing. It's the
terrible
timing
in-game
of this
fucking
one.
joke.
The
If
bottom
you're
line
not
is
malicious with your
play
edgy
stupid
jokes,
games,
it's
win
okay to be
stupid
edgy.
prizes.
You're
If you
not
want to be
malicious with your
edgy,
edge, you're fine.
you're gonna get slapped if somebody looks at it and says that's
Right,
not
right.
appropriate.
So-
So, that's it.
Hold on. And this goes back. This goes
Okay.
back a long way, Brisk.
The
Okay?
context
This is
has
not-
meaning.
This is
Let-
not something that is
guys.
new right now.
Clavis, you're right.
I'm going next. Real quick.
This is not something that is new right now. This has been
Drayden-
going on
Dirk,
for
let
a
Drayden
number
talk.
of
No,
fucking
no, no,
years.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Dirk-
Dirk was
Dirk-
saying
Dirk-
something.
Wait,
Let
Dirk
him go.
can finish because he was starting,
Yeah.
but after Dirk,
Hold
I'm
on.
going. After Dirk, I'm
This
going.
has been going on for a number of years with people trying to push the fucking boundaries out there, okay, based on CCP's naming policy, okay? And it comes down to the fact of how are they going to kind of like adjudicate these matters, right? Are they going to do it in an equal way, or are they going to do it on a case-by-case basis of what they feel at the moment
They
is
are
the one
doing
that they
it on
want
a
to
case by
crack
case
down
basis.
on more. Like
I
this
I don't
one
see
here
how they-
absolutely
how-
should have.
It's case
but
by
there's a
case.
whole bunch out there that should have
That's the
also
only way
been
they
cracked
can
down
do
at
it.
the same time. Like
The
when they
what?
happened.
What?
Look,
What?
I am so fucking tired of the, well, you didn't crack down on the Ebola guys when they named their alliance, and you didn't crack down on these
Because
guys.
nobody's
Either-
talking about
Shut
just a
the
virus,
fuck
but
up.
when you
The bottom
when-
line is
when
you played a stupid game and you won a stupid prize. You want to play the edge game. You're taking the chance that somebody's going to see it and get upset and report it, and you're going to get changed. That's what you get. So fuck off. I don't want to hear about you whining about it. Stop whining. I don't need to see Reddit clogged with a bunch of bullshit posts every 5 minutes about you bitching about your alliance name getting changed. You knew you're doing it in the first place to get attention. That's the only
Trading-
reason why these guys would
Okay,
do
so-
something like
so-
that.
so-
They're
go.
attention
Okay,
whores.
okay, let
All
Drayden
Drayden wants to
wait,
talk.
wait. So the thing, it's the timing. It's the timing. The fact that this virus is going around at this time and it's a big global focus, and they decide now is the time to name their alliance like that. That is the intent is malicious. So this is answering you, Manic. The intent
not
is
about
malicious.
intent.
It's not the name itself. It's the intent because what is it? Yersinia pestis or whatever. That's the Black Death. That's the whatever.
Bubonic
Dragon,
plague?
you're losing
Yeah,
me.
that's
Bubonic
bubonic plague. So if you named your alliance Yersinia pestis now, no one would give a fuck. But if you named it that while the Black Death was sweeping through, killing a third of the world's population, it would be a fucking issue.
CCP.
So it's the
with
timing.
their
It's the
EULA,
timing and the
with their
intent behind the
terms of
name that's the
service.
problem, not the name itself.
CCP
the name itself is
with
just a
their
virus.
EULA, with their terms of service, should not be have to getting down into discerning what the intent was. They should only have to discern whether or not they believe in their interests as a company, or whether it be from the outside spectrum or whether it be from other players in the game. It violates their terms of service on the naming policy, and they deal with it, right? Whether that is now, whether that is a month from now, whether that is a year from now or 3 years ago, it should always be the same kind of mechanism that gets involved with them as a company determining, you know what, it just doesn't mean our shit.
So
It should
That's
never
fine.
be-
And that's
it
what-
should
and that's
never
what I'm
be
saying.
we're
I'm perfectly
lighter
fine with
now
it.
than we
plus
were.
time
Because I'm gonna tell you
equals
right now,
comedy.
2 years
I
ago, I don't
guarantee,
believe this name gets banned.
guarantee in about 3 years we'll be hearing jokes about the coronavirus.
And you know
people are
what?
gonna
And that's
laugh,
fine
and it's gonna
then.
be hilarious.
Nobody's dying
There's
at that
already
point.
memes about
It's
the
not
coronavirus that
funny
people
in
laugh
the
about.
immediate thing when everybody's freaking out about it. It may be funny in 10 years. Okay. But I don't have a problem
Won't-
with them
won't even be
banning
that long.
getting rid of the name. Fine. Come up with something else. There's
We're-
enough shit going
we're
on. You
making
can come up with
9/11
something fucking
jokes.
edgy.
We could.
But
we've
they
been
should
throwing around the word
also
intent a lot.
handle these things in an
true.
even-handed manner, right? We should.
They
always
did.
work-
How was this not even handed?
Because I'm
If they're
telling you
gonna,
right
if
now,
they're
2
gonna
years
do it
ago, this name
even-handed,
doesn't
then
get
either
banned.
everything is acceptable or none or nothing is. That's
No,
the
no,
only
that's
yeah.
not
That's
the
the
way
only
it's
way
done.
you can
Dirk,
keep a
that's
level
like saying
playing
that
field.
like you make a movie about a school shooting, and then the next day there's a school shooting that happens. You got to pull the movie. Yeah,
2
the
years
timing
ago,
sucks
I can assure
shit,
you this
but
name
it
doesn't get
happens.
fucking banned.
I
Not
know,
even
of
the
course, because
name
nobody heard
plus the
of
ticker.
nobody had heard of coronaviruses 2 years ago. They didn't think it was an issue, so it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Exactly.
I think
okay.
the larger
it's not
issue
just
is-
about do you name an alliance after a virus, right? Like that kind of shit can fucking happen out there as long as you don't. When
One
people
of-
talk,
I
when
mean,
people
look at
talk about
Pandemic
Ebola-
Legion.
Don't pick a virus that's happening right now.
Right.
Like eFanFest is
Right.
canceled because of
When people talk
coronavirus.
about
like
Ebola,
It's also
they
like
didn't
the-
link. other
PL
things
symbol
to
is a
it.
fucking
They
virus.
didn't.
Come
The
on.
bacteria
have
phage,
multiple
actually.
It's a
linkages to
bacteriophage,
it that were
which is
pointing
not
at a
really a
certain
harmful
people.
virus.
But I think it's
Drayden,
also
I
like
love you.
I hate
hunt
you, Drayden.
others.
It's a
But no, he's right.
bacteriophage, which
Bacteriophages,
feeds on
uh,
bacteria.
hunt
Yes,
other
we
Oh
know.
my god!
Yeah.
Fucking mansplaining.
He's right. There's a really good Coast Guard video on that, but we keep talking about intent, and I want to read the actual post from this shitter on Reddit, and it says our new small game EVP alliance, which has been successfully taking sovereignty and cash, and Paragon Falls against some of the worst botting alliances in the game, have now been completely demoralized by the removal of our identity by CCP. So that's declared
That's
intent.
okay.
And that's
You
the,
picked
this
the
is
If
fucking
your
name.
if your
And that-
entire
and this
alliance
one
is
more-
But,
demoralized
Bunny,
because of a
Bunny,
name change,
I am so
then
happy.
I would say that the stability of that alliance was in question to begin.
Bunny, I'm so
Exactly.
happy that you're saying that, because that's exactly the point that I was making about all the anti-vax joke bullshit you guys were doing like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
think
the
about
same
that. Think
thing.
about that. We mentioned anti-vaxxers. I'm surprised you haven't blown a goddamn head gasket about this shit.
I already did.
You're like,
Look, my whole thing with these guys, and I've said it on Reddit. I said on these guys, I said when these guys came out, I said, stop whining edgelords. These guys need to fuck off. You know, you're gonna make stupid jokes about shit where people are dying, and the entire world is freaking out about this. The stock market just shit its bed, the worst that it's been in 20 years, because of this stuff. And you guys are gonna make jokes about it? Go fuck yourselves. I'm not interested.
What we
That's
want
not fucking
by,
funny.
What we want by people who are administering kind of, the EULA and things like that, right? Are that things are going to be handled in a uniform process, as well as using the same kind of standards over time.
we're talking about what we want. You know what I
You
want
can't-
is people who don't think this shit is funny. This is the tissue 1488 shit all over again. There's
Granted.
there's
Exactly what it is.
150
Agreed.
people
That's
who thinks
exactly
this
what
shit
it
is
is.
hilarious, and I personally don't want you here. None of us do. If you think
It's
this
not
is the kind
that
of
it's
shit
not
that's
I just
funny
wanna blow
because
them
it's
up.
offensive.
Get the
It's
fuck
just
out.
not
Joe-
funny.
Yeah, just go somewhere
Not
else.
funny.
Go somewhere else.
It's
I
just
personally-
like
You can
structurally
mark
as a
the
joke,
vote
it's
out of
not
the game.
funny.
But don't you
But-
want to ensure? Don't you want to ensure that the people that are dealing with this on a daily basis, like
Not
that they have a procedure in place for dealing with it, and it's not
here's the
just.
thing.
Well, they
Dirk,
do.
who's
You
who's
see
to
it,
say
you
what's
report
offensive?
the fucking alliance name, and then they
How
look
do,
at
how
it,
do
and then
you
they get rid of
decide
it.
what is offensive?
There's good
Are you
taste and
offended
bad
by
taste
it?
when it comes
Does
to
it
jokes and
pertain to
trolling.
current
And
events?
you just
Oh,
have to kind of
I'm
know where
offended
the
by
line
a
is.
whole lot of fucking things out there. I really fucking am.
I'm
especially
offended by
for-
Asher not
especially
fighting
for a
me.
company.
Can we?
I'm
get
offended
between
by
there?
Rain's
What the
headset.
fuck, Asher?
It's pink. Fuck that.
Fuck.
I mean, especially
Fucking
for a
headset,
company, which
pink
would-
ass
which we have
headset,
to- which we have to
Pink
understand.
ass
That's where it
headset.
should first come from.
I have
Like,
one, Britt.
all these people out there
Fucking
claiming
I got the cool
Go
shit.
suck a
Can't
dick.
see
Not
mine.
cool shit, you fucking
So
boomer.
Zos, we
Somebody
are
brings
kind of
up
talking
if
about
the
the games.
Chinese
We're talking
can-
about
if the
a
Chinese
Lions name that
complains
got
it's
banned because
offensive.
of the game of this, so it's related to the game actually.
So somebody brought up in chat if the Chinese complain it's offensive. The Meta Show hit on it whenever we were talking about the anti-vaxxer thing. Briskin the Matani asked, who were you guys interviewing whenever you brought that up?
We asked Norals about
It
it.
was Norals.
Oh, Norals.
And he said himself, he's like, I talked to the people in charge, and I'm like, hey, we don't like this. Nobody in our alliance likes this. Can you fucking stop? And so that,
And I gave you guys credit for that. You
Right,
guys stopped it, and Vince sent out a ping and said, "Stop doing this shit."
So
and it died. So
my
yes,
point-
thank you to NC Dot for doing
Yeah.
the right thing.
But
I
This
going
is
appreciate it.
further
not
than that-
our or Eve's first fucking run down this road.
right.
It's
of
not. It
what-
happens all the
of
time.
what people
Which is
name shit out
ridiculous.
there. Okay?
In
This has happened-
2020,
I mean, look,
we have
they
to have
were-
this fucking discussion about edgelords who have to name their
Every
alliance some
single
dumb
time
shit
something
to
happens.
be relevant. Like, I would have never heard of
But
these fucking idiots if it wasn't for this name.
At the same time that we
Use
always
common
You don't
have the
sense,
same
matter.
Use
discussion
common sense.
over and
Congratulations,
over
you can
again.
beat up on people who don't fight back.
At the same time that we had this same discussion over and over again about the new thing, remember back when it was Russia and Ukraine and like all this kind of shit out there, like going
missed
back
that.
to the first article
What?
I wrote like back in 2013
Whenever Russia invaded Ukraine.
about the naming
Kiev.
policy
Oh, yeah.
in
Or
EVE Online.
no, Crimea.
The fact
Crimea.
of the matter is that
Right.
you know what? It's always handled in a ham-handed way that is up and down with how serious they are about fucking anything.
I
And
honestly,
it really
You got
hot.
that ham
it
hand
really
Stop it.
going
needs to
up
be-
and
Turning
down.
me on,
needs
Manny.
to be
Is this the
seen
ham hand?
online.
This is that
The
what
ham
MCP,
hand just
the
goes
company-
up and
ham
down.
hand.
Up and down.
So this is how you ham hand?
are you all?
That's how
jacking
you
off
hand
in
it,
the air right
preferably
now?
with
No,
coconut
no,
oil.
we're not.
With
We're-
coconut oil, it makes it a whole
I was
lot
showing
easier.
you how I
We're
use my
ham-handing.
shake weight.
You would
Whatever.
have a shake
I just
weight.
learned how to do it.
That's going on Reddit tomorrow. I hope you
Because
know that.
I can take
I wish
Nobody
I had a
clip
shake
that.
weight.
I
I would
can
totally
take
do
nobody
it on
clip
the
it,
show.
please.
As
In
bad
fact,
as
I should
this
probably
alliance
get one
is,
just for the show.
As bad as every data point was about this particular alliance out there, from
No, I
its
went
alliance
left-handed,
name
Yalgas.
to its ticker to the characters,
Left-hand is
who
the
were
way to go.
administrators of it, to
Yeah.
all of
No.
that shit out there.
Does
It
it
is
matter if
not
you're
the
a girl?
worst thing that you can find in Eve.
No, you just need
Still
a
not today.
But it's the
I mean,
precedent,
whatever works
right?
for you.
If you
No, see, like I'm right-handed.
if someone like you can all
I'm
most of the people on the
left-handed.
show that we've
Yeah.
been talking about it agree it's not funny. No, the only people who thinks it's funny are the same people who probably thought
Now,
the 1488
I
thing
want
was
I
funny.
want to
Because
be
it came
clear.
up and
I
it
want
had
to
to
be
do
Oh
with
clear.
man, shake weights are like $20 on Amazon.
It's
I might have to
not.
get-
Dude, you
It's
don't need a
not
shake
funny
weight?
because it's offensive. It's not funny because it's just not.
It's just
funny.
not funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about it. It's not
Yeah.
fucking
It's
funny.
not a joke.
It's not even fucking
You want to
original.
be a
Literally, it is
fucking
not a
joke?
joke.
Take a look in the mirror, bitch. That's
So
why.
if we want to really if we want to
Sick
really go down this
bird.
road,
Hey-o.
mirror. We can do and throw this under the category like we do bots. If you think something's super offensive, report it
Why is that
and let
not
CCP
playing?
decide.
My soundboard don't work.
Shake weight. 1990.
Speaking of jokes,
I bet I could find you a
Awesome.
fucking shake weight with two like dicks on it, like a
You
like
can
a
get shake weight at like
bachelor
What
Walmart.
edge gift.
I
My
want a
soundboard
shake
don't
weight
work.
now. I'm gonna get one.
Just
I don't know.
get those
Was there an
suction
update?
cup
Yeah, we have
dildos
to-
and put it on either end of the shake weight.
Can you send me that link?
Unironically, this is unrelated to everything. The videos of people throwing those in places where people
broken.
can't get them down is
The
hilarious.
suction cup dildos, they're
Yes.
fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's funny.
I saw the
The
picture
one,
of
the one
where they
in
stuck
the
it to
school where
floor
the
and
guy's got
yes.
a like a broom and he's trying to
Yeah.
smack it off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Why does my soundboard not work? Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's like the perfect
See?
instance of
See,
oh god,
some
it's a
people are
penis,
offended by
everybody's-
suction cup dildos. Not us. Not open
Yeah,
comms. We
dude.
think
Not
that
us.
shit's hilarious.
We're,
Nope.
we're
Coronavirus,
Nope.
not okay.
That's gonna be
Suction
my
cup
cup
next line.
dildos
Same,
are
dude.
funny.
Suction, we're
we
suction,
seem,
we're suction
we seem
friendly.
to know that this one here, crossed that line, right?
Which one? Who?
Yes, the coronavirus thing crossed the line.
I will
Oh, okay.
say I do
Yeah.
have a corp that's named Team Strappy Boys.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Hey,
Fucking
Oh
You guys heard it
yeah,
here.
Straps.
Reigns
I'm
into
leaving.
pegging.
I'm leaving NC Dot. The name of our new alliance is going to be the suction cup dildos.
I'll join.
Team
I don't know a good
Strappy
taker
Boys
yet.
is joining.
So if someone, you can feel free to PM
Team
me on
Strappy
Twitch.
Boys teams
Yeah.
up with Suction Cup dildos.
DILDO.
We need to find the
And
whatever
you
the.
know what?
Only
We're gonna go invade
sexual
somebody,
themed
and the
alliance
news is
names.
gonna be solid.
Only
for
sexual
fucking
themed
months.
alliance
We had-
names from
we
here
had
on
some-
out.
We had somebody in our
So
comms
Bunny,
tonight.
whatever the onomatopoeia word is for.
We had somebody on our comms.
That's the alliance name.
We had somebody in our comms this week who's a CSM member who believes that, you know what, CCP should crack down much harder on why can't we all just be fucking better. Should
I
that
agree.
be a
I've
thing?
said that.
I
Dirk has a
agree.
Be
point.
better.
Dirk has a point. Be better. Like,
I say be better all the
remember-
time.
It's ridiculous
Not
that we're
like be
having this
better
discussion
about, like,
again
Be
in
excellent
2020.
to each
fucking
other.
I know.
bullshit and,
We
like,
already
Be
had this
get
discussion.
sucked. But, like,
Excellent
We
to
had
each
this
other.
discussion on I mean in the like what the fucking back room or
Should
whatever.
it?
Like
should
like,
CCP
why-
crack
like,
the
why
fuck
would you
down on a
not
be
better
better
human being?
standpoint?
Or hold
Until
your
people
friends
start
for
doing it
years?
themselves, then yes, I think they should.
Just be cool. Be cool, bro.
Come on. And we can all have a different idea of what be cool or be better is or all that kind of
Be
fucking
But
shit.
you
excellent
can
But
just
like,
to each
suck
other.
my
like,
dick.
honestly, it does come down to them
Bill
as
and
a
Ted
company,
3 is
right?
coming out August.
Didn't release the same day as Matrix.
No, that's
No,
next
that's
year.
next
John
year.
Wick 4 and Matrix 4.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
John Wick.
dude,
But Bill and Ted 3 comes out August this year.
We're down for
They play
Keanu Day, right?
Cyberpunk?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell
I've already
yeah.
booked the time off.
Sweet.
Get
I told
better.
my
So-
boss / dad that I'm taking that off. He's like, wait, when is that? Next year? I'm like, yeah. He's like,
So I submitted
tell
the
me next
PTO
year.
request.
Yeah.
I
So we're
submitted
at-
the
so we're at
PTO
the-
request,
the,
but my boss thought it was this year, and I had to tell her it's actually for next year.
Yeah. It's like, no. I
He's
just
like,
want to
you
make
we're in the
sure.
last
booked it
5
a year
minutes
and
of
a
the show,
half in
aren't we?
advance.
We're in the last 3 minutes of the show, but we can always.
Speaking of, I want to shout out.
We only have
something
3
something
minutes left.
Something that's happened in
What
real
funny?
life that I actually find kind of funny,
Oh,
but isn't probably funny. It's this. I don't know if you guys know what OnlyFans is, but they just had a
I know what it is.
huge
there's a
data
lot of
breach.
porn stars or
Data
And the
breach.
two
wannabe
things-
porn stars.
There's
that
like
want
And
so
the
many
two
like
things-
cam girls
The
on
What
two
is it?
things
OnlyFans.
that I find the funniest thing about that is that
What
first
site
of
is
all,
this?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
It's
Okay,
where
all right.
where girls go and they sell their nudes for a subscription.
Poor guys.
The funniest two
Okay.
things about this is one is the fact that the OnlyFans people are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, there's like huge fucking file dumps of these things. Like there's proof that it's happening. Meanwhile, they're like, nope. This
That-
didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Fake news.
So
fake
that
news.
one.
And then the next funniest thing is all the Twitter hate. Oh my god, I spent like
Why?
3 hours yesterday just scrolling through Twitter, reading all of the rage about this. It is
Yeah.
hilarious.
So the funny thing is, you know that one girl that was doing like, I'll send nudes for every
Yeah.
X amount of dollars
Eve-
that you
the-
send
yep,
for the
the
Australian League?
donation to
Like,
the
you get-
her
she got-
Instagram-
I think she got banned off of Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
or
Instagram
something
got
else, right?
banned, but she's like, you can go to my OnlyFans here. So like, that's how I found out about OnlyFans. It's like, what's OnlyFans? I'm like, oh, it's like a Patreon.
Now that's funny because I've never
It's
heard
like
of
a
that, so
Patreon
that's
for
interesting.
porn.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's literally
That's
I have
a
a
perfect
Patreon.
analogy.
I have an
actually.
OnlyFans
I
It's
have
Patreon
one
for
sub
porn.
on my
Basically.
Patreon.
Porn.
My
Porn
sub
Wait,
on
free
my
on.
but hold on a
Patreon.
second. Isn't Patreon for porn anyway?
Drayden.
Patreon.
Drayden,
can't
we
be-
need
I
to
have a
we need to
Patreon.
spin up
Patreon's
porn
for
free on.
everything.
The
And
way
I
I thought
Brain-
Patreon was
brain
for
synced
porn
up,
anyway.
Yeah.
I have one
The
sub
way
on
I explained it to
Patreon,
a
and my
coworker
Patreon
was-
sub
2 minutes
is in
to
the
Here we
show
go.
right now.
The way I explained
Not
it to a
even
coworker
separate
was
anymore. You
OnlyFans
gotta-
is
DJ,
the
you fucking
is the
slut.
You
website
got a
equivalent
super
of a
private
premium
Patreon
Snapchat.
sub?
DJ's my only Patreon.
What do you get for the Patreon sub?
You ask him.
Nothing.
DJ, what do
I'm
you
not
got?
subbed.
What you
I'm
got,
not
man?
I'm a
subbed.
page. I'm a
DJ.
top
I have
angel
screenshot.
investor in talking.
DJ, I'll give you three
I see it every
I'll
time
give
you
you three
post.
plex
I'm
if you
like,
tell us what
oh
you got.
my god, Brisk, why?
3?
3.
I've been giving Matt
We got
about
one
25 bucks a
minute
month.
left.
for
Four
like
plex.
Fourplex.
We have
2
1 minute
years.
until the end of the show. For those of you motherfuckers out there who like are worried about where you should travel in the world or whether or not fucking FanFest should have happened or any of that kind of stuff, let me just say this about the fucking curative and prophylactic properties of Tito's fucking
the
vodka.
fuck? Oh,
Honestly,
okay.
if
We're
you
talking
wash
about-
yourself on the inside and on the outside with Tito's
The
vodka,
diuretic properties
I'm gonna
of
tell you
Tito's.
right now.
My man
I'm gonna
just
tell you
said
right now. The
prophylactic. I'm like,
corona
hold
can't
on.
get you.
I think
The
he
corona
meant diuretic.
cannot get you. So
Yeah.
Well, the Iranians said you got to put some kind of extract on your anus, and that stops the.
You know what? The
Exfoliants.
Iranians
You put essential oils on your butt.
Essential oils on your
Listen to me,
anus.
listen to me,
Essential oils.
listen to me.
Let's put some
Anytime
lavender,
anytime that you put
some
oil on
sage,
your anus,
burn some
you're
sage,
always
burn-
protected.
Burn some
Mint.
sage and stick it up your ass.
There you go.
No, you
That
mint
works.
them and someone
While we're-
eats your
you're
ass to get
safe.
that
I
minty
have one
breath.
more shout out,
Yeah.
and it's Eve Nola. If FanFest isn't happening, I'm gonna
Eve
go all out at
Nola.
Eve Nola.
Yes.
Stick lifesavers up your
Yeah,
ass.
come to
Mint
Eve New Orleans. Orleans.
Lifesavers.
Eve Nola, bitches.
So
Yep,
I'm
May
I'm flying May
22nd to
20th.
24th
Yeah,
in New Orleans.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
push my times back.
Oh,
I
yeah,
might
we got
spend
DJ here.
spend
DJ,
2 weeks in
Hold on,
New
hold on.
Orleans.
Because you know what? No fucking joke. If there's any goddamn city on the face of this earth that don't give a fuck about the virus, it's
Yeah.
New Orleans.
New Orleans is just gross anyway. Like
I was saying,
oh,
like,
there's
I don't-
like first.
New Orleans
They
is
have
not
a
worried about
natural
viruses.
immunity.
You survive there without not getting herpes on your feet.
Look, the good thing is that viruses usually don't do well with acids, and there's piss everywhere in New Orleans. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I was saying, like, I don't care if it's a
Just
zombie
drink
plague in
piss.
New Orleans. I'm
Go
going.
There you
for
go.
showers.
Saves that.
Also,
Drink
since
piss to cure yourself of the coronavirus.
No.
Yes.
I
Dude, this is
refuse.
not your
It's
cabin.
sterile. If
I
it's
can't
bad.
believe that we've had 200 people watching this shit for
Like,
for
what's the
2 hours.
fucking deal?
We're gonna call it the
Fucking
Bear
vanilla,
Grylls
bitch.
vaccine.
All right, so we got DJ here, who's one of the organizers of New Orleans. So go ahead and plug it real quick before we go. Not only like when the
Are we-
dates
are
are,
we
but what
rolling
we're,
up
what we're
music
doing
now?
there. What are the dates?
I
and
think
what
we're
we're
gonna
doing?
listen to
It's
DJ
May
plug no love.
22nd to
Hold on,
20.
by the way,
Four?
DJ
What?
Aldard is here to talk to us about Eve New
It's
Orleans,
Alec
motherfucker.
Hart.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so go, DJ, go.
Didn't Drayden literally just say that?
Yes,
Kinda.
but, like I was just trying
But
to
he
cut
didn't
everybody
hype
else
Hype
up.
hard.
it. We gotta hype it.
Yeah, Brisk
You guys
hyped it pretty
shut
good. I'm not. Or Dirk did.
Yeah.
It's May 22nd to 24th. You can go to eveneworleans.com. That has all the information. Or we have a Discord too.
Okay,
DJ
so
World War II
Great.
music.
Well,
All
real quick,
the
what are the what's the events that we're doing there? What are the
oh,
nightly
the
things?
schedule's gonna get released soon. I know for sure it's not gonna get canceled.
Okay,
Pro
but I
got
know
the
there's a
first thing-
crawfish
Dude,
boil.
There's a
It's
so
pub
totally
crawl,
gonna get canceled.
crawfish
Street
boil.
balcony,
Yeah. Bourbon Street balcony, crawfish boil, and a
and a
pub crawl on Bourbon Street.
mechanical bull riding competition.
Oh shit!
I'll
I'm gonna
be-
nail
I guess
that.
Rain's
If
leading the
anybody has
mechanical
any
bull
kind of
ride
desire to meet
competition.
I know
Raise
y'all
money, I'll be
didn't see
there.
Urban Cowboy because y'all a bunch of young motherfuckers. I'll ride a fucking mechanical
Yeah, dude,
bull.
I'll ride a
I just
mechanical
Dirk, I
bull.
will outlast you on the mechanical bull.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
You
that one
think you
guy
would.
thing where he
I
stand.
fucking will,
I'm gonna
dude.
do the thing where the guy jumps up and stands on it and rides it on his like business shoes.
You're
That's a
gonna
fantastic
die,
video.
Jordan.
No,
You
I
should
won't
wear a
die.
suit, Drayden.
No, it's fine.
Drayden, do you own a suit? You should wear it.
No, because here's the
In New
best
Orleans,
thing.
you'll
I
be
actually
way
have
out first.
medical insurance now, so I'm good, right?
Hey, there you go.
God
bless
GoFundMe?
you, Drayden.
Have the
God
GoFundMe,
bless you,
Drayden.
with the
Drayden has
program.
joined the 1%. He has insurance now.
It's really
man,
bad
you an
insurance.
uptown motherfucker now.
It's really bad. It's got like a $3,000 deductible with $5,000 out of pocket.
Fuck
so,
yeah!
so I mean,
Oh,
like,
my
if,
you're so
God.
dead.
if I break an arm, I'm
So you
probably-
don't have insurance at all.
Yeah, basically. So if I break
Unless
an
you
arm,
lose a fucking limb.
if I
He'll
break,
be-
break an
he'll
arm,
be
it's gonna save
fine.
me like $200 out of the $5,000 I paid.
Bro,
That's fine.
No fucking lie. And you live out there in like Idaho or Idaho
Well,
Extension.
I'm going
It's
back
like-
to Idaho. I'm in Spokane right
because
now.
you know Corona
Fuck
ain't
Washington.
coming there
Washington's
for a
such a
little while.
shitty state. I fucking hate Washington.
But you're not really in Washington. You're like
I consider myself an Idahoan. Actually, as far
exactly.
as the
You can
government's
always
concerned,
run
I'm an
home.
Idaho citizen
You can
because
always run home.
no, because as far as the government's concerned, I live at my parents' house in Idaho, so I can stay as an Idaho resident because I don't want to claim that I'm living here and have to switch my driver's license over, get new license plates, switch my registration. That'd be like a $300-$400 process, and then when I move back to Idaho in a year or two, I have to do it again. So I'm like, I just claim that I'm living at my parents' house in Idaho, even though I'm not. So
I have a final
Well, thanks for
fucking-
just telling the whole fucking planet that.
no, it's fine. You
Drayden,
can have two
dumbass.
residences, and you can choose which one is your actual residence. Doesn't have to be one
I
you
have a
actually
final
live at,
shout
right?
out. I have a final shout out. It is
If anyway, like, I don't,
for,
like-
for fucking LB's mustache. His beard is kind of like grand, like mine would do if I could actually grow hair
It does
like
get
down
more and
there.
more fantastic every week.
But like honestly, his mustache, if he just like shaves the beard and just goes with the stash, I swear
don't
to
think
fucking
so.
God.
I'm gonna.
No,
like,
I
I'm gonna
like
go ahead
I
and-
like the
I'm gonna go ahead and
mustache
disagree
with
with you.
He does have
the
a nice
beard.
curl.
He's the
No,
ninth
no.
musketeer.
You gotta have both.
I think
I like
the
both.
package, like the control, the whole thing for him is working really well.
Appreciate
I'll
it.
drink to that.
Thank you.
I think it is.
My shout out,
think it's
I have a
also
shout out.
working for Mrs.
Oh, wait
LB
for
out
me?
there, and you know what?
My
Everybody
shout out for the end of the
everybody
show
loves the
is-
fucking amazing mustache.
My shout out, and I agree with Amazing Mustache. My shout out is to all the CSM guys. They're heading up to Iceland tomorrow. Sort's already in the air. I hope you guys have a good summit. I hope it's not fucking
Safe
boring and
summit.
stupid.
Safe
Please
summit.
eat some whale meat for me and go to that place that has the fucking reindeer that we all ate at. That was really good.
Also, like wear a mask when you're in that really
Sushi
fucking
bar
tight
and
room.
mask.
please don't get the
Masks.
plague and die. I was
Please
really
Don't
upset.
touch each other.
There's
Some of
only
you guys
one
got in
case.
trouble.
Fucking hugs when you're up there.
No hugs, no
hugs.
handshakes.
Don't even.
Yeah.
You
Just
gotta
bump
make heavy
elbows.
eye contact.
Just like glance at each other. and be
Prolonged
like,
eye
"Oh,
contact.
Nothing more
I
than
want
a
you all to
head nod.
channel your inner
Yeah.
brisks, wear business suits to the meetings. It'll be great.
All right, cheers.
God bless, bitches. Later.
Good night,
Later,
everybody.
bitches.
Later, bitches. We
Later,
out.
bitches.
All right, how do I close this? What am I doing? Where's the?
How do you
program?
turn
Don't
the
tell
stream
me.
off?
Have you
Please
never
tell me
done
we're
this
not still
before?
live.
Kid?
Please tell me we're not
How do
still
you
live.
stop
Why do you
streaming?
have a white
How do
board
we
on your
stop
I can't
brain?
stop streaming.
How do we